doing the first ever LPL NFTS pack drop on Thursday, 30th December. Sign up on radio.com to reserve your packs now. Only a single this time.
That's a challenge for the bowler. Somehow find a way to restrict this innings to 185 runs. Fielders have to raise their game too. Loving this game. Crowd has come in numbers, still flocking in.
Lanka on strike. But they need a few good overs. The Galle Gladiators, they need to, as Darren said, slow things down, bowl a few dot balls. Jaffna, a very well-known figure, played for Sri Lanka, one of the oldest living Sri Lankan cricketers. President, I think he used to be the president of the Tamil Union, involved with the Tamil Union Cricket and Athletic Club. Highly respected in the cricketing fields, have been in administration. I believe he has been a selector as well. Avishka Fernando, this time, finds the fieldsman on the boundary. Nuwantushara gets the wicket. And Danushka Gunatilaka, the catcher. Well, Galle Gladiators needed that. And Avishka Fernando goes.
Let me tell you, the wicket has come for the Gladiators at the right time. And that too, of Avishka Fernando. Bowling few dot deliveries. Doing the trick for the fast bowler Tushara. Netted a big fish. Scored 63, 119 for 2.
It's 119 for 2 into the 13th over. Shoaib Malik is the new batsman. Take a look at his experience. He's 39. Well, this is his record here, but he's a highly experienced player. Brilliant strike rate. But this is his 461st T20 game. But Lanka on strike because he crossed on that shot. Nuwantushara has been good. Now, interestingly, just one over has been bowled without a boundary.
Yeah, and also interesting that Bhanuka Rajapaksa has now found the time to bring back Tushara. Remember in that qualifier one, he picked up 5 for 13, so he should have been his trump card against this opposition if they're going after the bowling. After the damage has been done, he's now brought back. Remember, he bowled the second over only, and he's brought back for the 13th. Maybe a missed opportunity there, you would think, for the Galle Gladiators. He's picked up the important wicket. Can this be the turn in the momentum and the tempo to the innings that the Gladiators want?
Yeah, they also have Mohammad Amir up their sleeve, so they've been looking to try and throttle the batsman if they can have a good finish. The last 5 overs are going to be critical. Short delivery. Oh, it's a good take, very good take. It's called a wide. Lyndon Hannibal, that was a good change-up.
Wasn't a bad ploy from Tushara, attempting a bouncer to a young batsman at the crease. Not in age.
far has been a good over, just 4 runs off it. He's got to bowl one more ball. Play and a miss. Good over. 4 runs off it. Just a second without a boundary being conceded. It's 121 for 2.
Feel the spark again in our powerful hybrids. Toyota, let's go places.
Still plenty to do for Galle Gladiators.
.56 and 63, 2 partnerships already achieved by the Jaffna Kings that has laid the platform for this innings.
Look at the bowling resources available. 7 overs to go, including this one. Patel has an over, and Amir and Tushara, who was at the top, has 2 each. So that's 5. You need to make up 2 more. Udana is an option, but he's gone for a few in 2. Dhananjay Lakshan has only bowled 1 over, but Pulina Tharanga can come on and bowl 1 more over.
How about Mohammad Hafiz? He's got the experience. He's got tricks in his bag. All they need is a couple of good overs here. Just dry up the boundaries somehow. Have the batsman doing something. Otherwise, pick up another wicket and enhance chances for their side. Bhanuka with his good captaincy of restricting the opposition to 185, which for me is gettable on this surface.
Mohammad Hafiz is an option. He hasn't bowled as yet. What do you think of those moves? Very unique. Sri Lankan moves. In the crowd, this goes down the ground is Tom Kohler Cadmore. Sweet sound of leather on willow. That was 6 from the moment it left the bat.
All you could do was admire that shot, even if you're an opponent. Got the elevation, got the distance. Their footwork made it.
Good delivery, well done. Good fielding at point. It's a dot ball.
For this 6 here, there was premeditation, but what was important was the fact that he didn't move too early. The pitcher is not offering a lot of turn to a left-arm spinner as a right-hander. You could afford to move late, hit through the line, because you know that he's going to bowl straight. 14 gone, 130 for 2.
Another look at that 6, just looking to come down the track. Then got everything. The distance, my goodness, the timing has been brilliant. And these sixers have been outstanding. They're just not just gone over the line, but they have cleared the line by a distance. No surprises in the list. Tom Kohler Cadmore and Avishka Fernando at the top. Kenal Lewis, his team was eliminated. Pusara Pereira, they're all very big hitters. Right, a hygiene partner. Dettol has served everybody so well right throughout this Lanka Premier League. Players, commentators, officials, and what about this? One of the leading brands, a flagship brand of Sri Lanka. CBL Manchi and Kome. Manchi Kome has been a unique brand, a rice cracker, sought after by many. A goal. Precious dot ball. Single the first, then a dot ball.
Quite a few players would have been part of that 2020 final. Shoaib Malik won. Sarah Pereira, of course. Suranga Lakmal. Players who would have had that experience in 2020 and now using that to good effect in 2021. For Gladiators, Monica Rajapaksa was the captain in that 2020 final. Now he's here trying to win a title for the first time.
I'll tell you what, Malik in his long career is playing in his 19th T20 final. You talk about playing in 19 finals, man. What about that for an experience? Knowing exactly to handle the pressure.
So should we expect him to be player of the match again with that experience?
I won't be surprised.
Look at the colourful crowd. Wow, can't remember the last time I experienced this ambience at the cricket ground.
And then you see a lush has been put on the ball.
Well, that's a familiar face. And he's enjoying some Red Bull, and he's feasting on it. He's absolutely feasting on it. Gets the top edge, safely overshot third man. The runs are flowing, and they are aplenty for the Jaffna Kings.
Well, as a bowler, you have to shrug your shoulders. I tried my level best. I bowled a slow one. The ball sliced off the face of the bat and went into the gap. On a good delivery, if boundary scored, can't do anything. Just take it in your stride.
Last ball of the 15th over, then we'll get back to the final 5. Plenty of thinking to be done. Oh, we got some Christmas feeling here. Santas. I wonder what goodies they're carrying with them.
Christmas tide.
Into the gap. Only a single. So 7 off that over. 137 for 2.
Feel the spark again in our powerful hybrids. Toyota, let's go play.
The building's looking good for the Jaffna Kings at the moment, and just 2 dots as well. 5 overs to go in this final. 137 for 2. They scored 210 the last time out in the second qualifier at this ground, heading for something around about 200 as well. Lots to think about for the brains trust of the Galle Gladiators. All the senior players having a discussion. These last 5 overs could be absolutely crucial as to how many they can restrict the Jaffna Kings to, who've been brilliant in the last 5 with the bat. Crowd is absolutely pumping today. Really is fantastic vibe out there. The best we've had all tournament. Great to have a relatively full stadium.
And it's a great game. It's been a great inning so far. 138, the runs are flowing. It's Rudan to Kola Cadmore. Launches, flat, and 6. He's racing away Kola Cadmore.
A slow ball picked very early by TKC. Mr. Udana pitching it short. Again, the head position and the pace is so superb from there. Just a matter of getting some bat. And there you go.
One 4 and 3 sixes for TKC so far today. And yet you would say he's been relatively circumspect for him. What he's done really well is he hasn't faced many dot balls, taken a lot of singles.
Up to now, you could say it's been a perfect innings. The Gurbaz, Avishka Fernando partnership. Avishka tried to kick on 100 in the last game, 63 here now. The platform set for Kolakadmo. Shoaib Malik. Oh my God, this is a Pereira to come as well.
Good Yorker from Udana. They need a bit more of that, the Gladiators.
And that's the length. I think it's for a settled batsman. It's very important not to give anything in the length area. Mr. Udana quickly realizing his pitch, not much holding up. Talking about perfect Yorkers, you got a couple of them from Mr.
And he's sitting deep in his crease, Kolakadmo. You have to have that awareness and probably go a couple of feet fuller. He's not standing in that usual crease area. Right now he is.
Slower ball this time, and he's hit it into the gap. So they'll pick up 2.
The field suggestion also, generally for the right-handers, Mr. Udana goes way outside your stump, full Yorkers. The third man and cow point in the ring, only sweep a cover, patrolling the boundary through the offside. He's not having that luxury. It's either going to be the Yorker straight or the slower delivery into the pitch.
6 bowlers used. Pudina Taranga has been good so far. Amir has 2. I think it's time he came in. He has to, if not, he's not going to get his 2 in.
Yeah, and he's known his Yorkers well in this over. Udana, that's 3, but they're going to come back for 2, so that's well dug out and well run. Story of the innings, they've run really well from the first over.
You have to have that balance, especially on a big outfield. So many gaps. If you keep doing this, it gets so hard for the captain, the fielding captain, to set the field. Then they're hitting flat sixes, or are they going to be 10 meters in, stand on the boundary, what angles? You're giving them massive issues.
Just 31 dots so far, 40 singles. Again, it's full, not quite to Yorker length, so that's not really a bad over from Udana, but it's still gone for 11. First ball went out the park. Didn't really make a mistake after that. Jaffna Kings sitting pretty at the moment. 148 for 2. They've got 4 overs to go, so they can get together and discuss how they're going to go about things, because it's a tactical timeout. with 4 overs to go in the Jaffna Kings innings in this 2021 LPL final. The score is 148 for 2. Champions will be very happy with where they are. Tom Kohler-Cadmore's 4 short of a half century. Last year in the final they got 188, and that was comfortably a winning score. They're heading for something similar here. Short, Mohamed Amir back into the attack. It's what Russell Arnold wanted.
He had to come. For my liking, an over or two earlier. Just searching for a wicket would have been ideal. One short one for the over. Now he's going to have to be predictable by bowling up to the batsman. Obviously, he's going to try use that angle. 2 men in the deep square on the offside. Wideish third man, a deep point. Deep square leg. Mid-wicket, long on. Kohler-Cadmore. 46 off 34. Well set.
Goes wide for the Yorker, but too wide, and signalled by Lyndon Hannibal.
That's the angle. President of Sri Lanka Cricket, Shammi Silva, and founder of IPG, Mr. Anil Mohan, and CEO. Job well done in putting the show together.
Oh, that's hit Shoaib Malik. He's dropped his bat. Hope that's not hit him in a bad area. That was drilled back by Tom Kohler-Cadmore. He had no time to get out of the way.
Tell you what, Shoaib Malik saved 3 runs for the Galle Gladiators with mid-off up, not a long off. Thumped by Tom Kohler-Cadmore. Oh, very lucky there, Shoaib Malik, without a glove. Imagine falling the knuckles. Ah, very lucky.
That would have been 50 for Tom Kohler-Cadmore, and if that was a short mid-wicket, I just wonder whether it would have lobbed to him, and if it was on the full. I think it was on the full.
Malik, though, will be relieved. No gloves on, as you said, Maha. That was broken knuckle written all over it. Good partnership, this. 31. Malik's contributed only 2 so far. But he has contributed now. He's beaten mid-off. It was a full toss from Mohamed Amir. Wasn't hit that cleanly by Malik, but crucially, he got it in the right area.
Tell you what, Dhananjay Lakshan at mid-off responded pretty late in the field. He's been having an ordinary day. A bit of anticipation would have saved 3 runs for the Gladiators.
But it does kid off the outfield. Just then, it takes off. Dhananjay Lakshan is generally a very good fielder, but he's been banished from mid-off to extra cover. He did get a fingertip to it. The field changes. Long off, goes out, and one of those deep fielders square on the offside has come into the circle. He's going to have to bowl a lot straighter now.
Which he does. That's a top edge. That's gone a long way up into the...
लाइव मैच का लिंक कमेंट में पिन है। लाइव मैच लिंक पिन इन कमेंट।
Screen please, not out.
Back because he's already bowled that one above the shoulder for the over already. Even more pain for the Gladiators.
Tried a repeat dose, but this was pace on from Amir. Got to come back for two. Out if it hits, but it didn't. So an expensive over. 16 off it, 164 for two.
Tell you what, Darsh, you look from deep mid to get through at the right hand.
लाइव मैच का लिंक कमेंट में पिन है। लाइव मैच लिंक पिन इन कमेंट। लाइव मैच के लिंक पर क्लिक करके लाइव कमेंट। लाइव मैच के लिंक पर क्लिक करके लाइव मैच देखें। लाइव मैच का लिंक कमेंट में
This is over.
Screen, please, not out.
Hello guys, please follow my
Deep mid to get through at the right hand. Mohammad Amir.
Happy, but between overs, look, all I know is this was that throw, direct hit would have had. Asking the question, wasn't there anyone at the stumps, but there was a discussion between Samit Patel and Mohammad Amir. Highly animated, but I know one thing, it was certainly not about dinner.
Samit Patel and Darsh Gunatilaka did have a say. Because Mohammad Amir, from its follow through, should have been behind the stumps, would have been an easy run out. A settled batsman in TKC, the basics, the Gladiators missing the basics out.
From Galle Gladiators, one off a half century, having a really good season for the Jaffna Kings. Well bowled, Milan Tushara went short. Enjoyed bowling against the Jaffna Kings, 5 for in the previous game. This was the run-out chance. So a bit of hesitation, that would have done for Galle Gladiators. No one at the stumps, though. You can see Samit Patel jogging up into the frame there. I think Amir may be saying to Samit, maybe you could have got to the stumps, but he had a long way to go. He disagreed.
Very animated and really good to see, though, from my point of view. I don't know about you, Matt.
.50 for Tom Galle Gladiators. 1 4 and 3 6s today, but he's been really measured and has played a crucial innings for his side on the big stage in the final.
Second 11 matches this season. His 22nd, of course, in T20s. Tom Galle Gladiators. The big stage, the big occasion. All the big boys in the Kings team seem to be standing up. But I'm really impressed with Milan Tushara steaming in. He bowled a bouncer, he bowled a yorker. Precision. It's under pressure because look at them steam off. 167 for 2 of Tushara. He's doing his bit, more than his bit.
He's gone for just 27 with 2 balls left in his 4th over.
So Malik would be disappointed, was right in his arc. So trying to toward losing his shape. This Galle Gladiators this season started off with a half century against the Gladiators. Departed scored of 10 against the Gladiators. Then the final, when things mattered most, he's delivering it.
He's middled that one. Almost. Oh, what's happened there? More confusion on the boundary for the Galle Gladiators.
50 partnership in 33 balls. We've seen this shot on quite a few occasions. Head down, flick it away. Oh dear, Mendes not having the best of times in the field. Another knock on. Cost them 4 this time. Even Lakshan got a poke but couldn't keep it in. 200 on the cards. 2 overs after this remain.
Ball's followed Lakshan around today, wherever he's been. One ball left in this Tushara spell. Slower ball flicked high by Tom Kohler-Cadmore. No distance though. And it's dropped. Oh, should have been taken. 174 for 2.
Can be very cruel. Fielder is having an off day. It's amazing how it follows the same fielder than the Lakshan. A couple of errors before. This time, high delivery. And down the Lakshan. It seems nowhere near.
Galle Gladiators just missed a big opportunity to get Tom Kohler-Cadmore out with 2 overs to go. And they've been a bit loose overall in the field, particularly Dhananjaya Lakshan is normally very solid. This one went a long way up, Russell.
Yeah, he charged in, but then when he looked like he was underneath it, seemed to have lost it a wee bit and never looked like taking it. He's bowled really well. He deserved a lot more Nuwan Tushara today. Ends with 1 for 33. Could have easily had another. 2 overs remaining, 6 of them going to be bowled by Mohammad Amir. He's been expensive today. None for 32.
Now they're jumping in the stands. It's getting going here. That might be a while.
In Colombo, chased down 4 against Dambulla last year. Sanitize your hands regularly. Hygiene, a major part of life today. Don't be complacent. Red Bull for wings.
Shot! Shoaib Malik, inside out. Over, wide, mid-off for 6.
Mohammad Amir missing the length again. The line as well, having mid-off up. Cannot give that length. And Shoaib Malik, too good of a player. Going to miss off there. This is what you're talking about. When wheels come off from a team, it comes off pretty badly. Such a good performance. Mohammad Amir panicking under pressure.
There was also a superb game last year. 219, played 219.
He's connected again, but he's picked out the man on the cover boundary. That went hard and flat, but straight to the boundary rider. Relief for the Galle Gladiators.
Oh, did so well. The reactions of the Galle Gladiators just tell you how they're feeling. The faces, the crowds loving it. Balls flying all over. Some good cricket on show. And a good innings from Shoaib Malik comes to an end. Pulina Taranga did so well. Took it in front of his face. Look at that, off the middle of the bats, reaching out Shoaib Malik. There would have been a lot of damage if he'd missed that. But he takes a good one. Amir strikes. Amir picks up a wicket. But Shoaib Malik's done some damage. 23 off 11. It's 181 for 3.
That's hard to get away. Tissera towards
Jaffna Kings. Magnificent right throughout. It's continuing their good work with the toss batting first. Good start, finishing up very strong. 1 over to go. Spoke about the fast score being 180, 190. Well underway. The 190 score.
Jaffna have been by far and away the best batting side in this season's Lanka Premier League. Look at those scores. They're going to be getting on that board again today. Can they get up towards 200? Past that mark for the 3rd time? Well, they'll need to get 18 off this final over.
He's gone to Dhananjay Lakshan for that last over. He's bowled only 1 over so far, cost him 11.
To reach that one, Tissera, one-handed. He's hit a 4. Great effort out on the boundary by Kusal Mendes. But what a shot with one hand.
Tissera did well to get some bat. It was so wide. For a second, I was thinking that could have been a wide. He had left it. That sort of a day, Jaffna Kings won. And brilliant effort by Kusal Mendes. Just not good enough to save that boundary.
They're trying to bowl away from his arc. Deep extra cover comes into play. So there are 3 fielders in the deep on that boundary. Deep mid-wicket, long on.
There he goes, dead straight and long. That's Tissera Pereira at his best.
Inexperience. And 3 fielders in the offside, patrolling the boundary, going straight and missing the length. We all know Tissera Pereira's arc, how big it could be. The biggest sixes out of the middle of the bat. That's massive, absolutely massive.
Cross seamer, but everything wrong about that delivery. The length and line that Tissera Pereira loves.
No changes to the field. No fielder in the ring on the offside in front of square at the moment. Short and whacked for another 6. So it started this over, this final over, 4-6-6.
Just what the Jaffna Kings needed. And Dhananjay Lakshan, the day to forget, the young man started really well this time. Oh my God. Anything in that arc, in that length, keeping that pace, not trying to hit too hard with the power. But Tissera Pereira possesses, that's going massive. That's exactly what happened. Yes, Banu Rajapaksa had the feel for a different delivery, and under pressure, Dhananjay Lakshan delivering something else.
What Banu Rajapaksa wants from Lakshan is to repeat that first ball. He's now given him the field as well, but he's changed the line, the length. Manchikome, plenty of them behind that shot.
It's another full toss. Doesn't get hold of this one, Tissera. Just picks out the man at long off. I'm sure Lakshan will be relieved to get him off strike.
Surudana had one more row if Banu Rajapaksa wanted to go for experience, but for some reason choosing to go to Dhananjay Lakshan, and the young man panicking, clearly under pressure. Tissera Pereira's power more than enough to clear any boundary in the world. And that delivery, especially slow ball into the pitch with fielders not around. Got a good option to have.
2 balls remaining in the innings. Deep square, deep made, long on. Long off, deep point.
That's well bowled. That's perfectly executed York with TKC going a long way back in his crease. Just got some bat on that, otherwise it would have been stone dead LBW. 200 up. 3rd time the Jaffna Kings have got there this season.
Dominant this time around. A very good team performance. Everyone contributing. Last ball, a question for you, Maha, question for you, Matt. It's the same question. If you asked Tissera Pereira if he wanted a Manchikome or Dhananjay Lakshan now, what would his answer be?
Probably you.
Depends on the flavour. Oh, well bowled Lakshan. They will scamper through for a bye though, so he's finished well the first 3 deliveries. went for 16 and you feared the worst, but the last 3 going for just 3. So the Jaffna Kings still have a formidable total. 201 for 3 in a final. That is big runs on the board. They beat the Galle Gladiators last year, having scored 188. Galle fell well short of that. 135 they made in that final. They're going to have to bat really well to get anywhere near this, even on a flat pitch.
Yeah, it's been a great innings. Tisara Pereira called right, batted first. And they've been on fire, the Kings. Started off nicely, the opening partnership of 56 set it up. And a perfect batting card. Avishka Fernando, 63 of 41, good pass. Almost a strike rate of 200. That was it. Kolakatmo took it right through. Shoaib Malik, 23 quick runs, and so did Tisara Pereira. Very, very good from the Jaffna Kings today.
Bowling for the Gladiators on a good rating. Everyone going for plenty, especially Dhananjay Lakshan and Isrudana, gifting away more than 70 runs in their 5 overs. Nuwan Tushara was pick of the bowlers for me, using his experience and the guile. Pulataranga bowled his 3 overs 27. Mohammad Amir 1 for 39 of his 4 overs.
So 201 is a very, very big score, but Galle have beaten Jaffna 3 times in a row this season, and the last time they played, their openers, Kusal Mendes and Danushka Gunatilaka,
Rajapaksa warns from Lakshan is to
choosing to go to Dhananjay Lakshan and the young bat on that, otherwise it would have been stone dead LBW. 200 up, 3rd time the Jaffna Kings have got there this season.
Dominant this time around.
गाइस जो लोग लाइव मैच देख रहे हैं मैं आपसे रिक्वेस्ट करता हूँ वीडियो को लाइक करें, चैनल को भी सब्सक्राइब करें। लाइक करने में सेकंड भी नहीं लगता है। प्लीज इस्लामिक के खातिर मैं आपसे रिक्वेस्ट करता हूँ, मेरा 1000 सब्सक्राइब टारगेट है, प्लीज वीडियो को लाइक करें, चैनल को भी सब्सक्राइब करें प्लीज गाइस।
चोरी की है मेरी सौख हमारी वजह से किसी की जान नहीं जाएगी।
तेरी सौख
गली शहर ग्राउंड है, दीवार गुलाबी ग्राउंड है, यार नवाबी ग्राउंड है।
ग्राउंड की हर खबर पे रखो नजर, वुल्फ 777 न्यूज हर जगह ग्राउंड है।
जिंदगी ब्राइट है, खुल के जी ले, हैप्पी ये दिल है फ्री। मस्त वाली ये हवा चली, दिल को है ठंडक मिली।
सोमवार से शुक्रवार रात 10 बजे सोनी पर।
काय लाकडं कशी दिली?
500 रुपये मन।
3500 काही कमी नाही होणार?
मी येणार आहे तुमच्या बरोबर।
आपल्यात बायका जातात का स्टीव सर्जनाला?
काय म्हणालास?
नाहीतरी कधी वागलीस बायकांसारखी तू?
काका गाडीत पेट्रोल भरावं लागेल।
आपण सगळे कॉन्ट्री काढू।
मी माझं वॉलेट विसरलोय।
असा कसा रे तू?
अस्ती कुठे आहे?
जिंदगी ब्राइट है, खुल के जी ले, हैप्पी ये दिल है फ्री। मस्त वाली ये हवा चली, दिल को है ठंडक मिली।
डॉक्टर दीपिका ने रखा कदम FMS हॉस्पिटल की दुनिया में।
मेरी लाइफ का सिर्फ एक ही पर्पस है, मेरी रेपुटेशन पे लगे दाग को साफ करना।
पर सामने खड़ा है मुश्किलों का तूफान।
इसे यहाँ इस हॉस्पिटल में दाखिल किसने होने दिया?
मैं एक डॉक्टर हूँ, मैं अपना काम जानती हूँ।
डॉक्टर सिन्हा जैसी बंदिया लाइफ में आगे कैसे बढ़ती है अपना चार्म यूज करके?
डॉक्टर सिन्हा की हायरिंग पे मैनेजिंग कमेटी फैसला ली।
मर्दों की इस दुनिया में कैसे बनाएगी दीपिका अपनी पहचान? सोमवार से शुक्रवार रात 10 बजे सोनी पर।
Welcome back. It's 201 for 3. Jaffna Kings. That is a massive target. That is a massive hole that the Gladiators are in to try and get out chasing this target. With some very consistent batting by the Jaffna Kings. And well, big good partnerships in quick time. And in fact, very, very consistent right down the order with that last partnership of 20 of 10 balls and unfinished. Thisara Pereira was threatening in that last over, and Gladiators were pretty lucky that they got away with some cheap deliveries towards the end. But look at the economy rates. Everyone, maybe with the exception of Patel, who's gone for 8, and Tushar at 8.25. But Dhananjay Lakshan and Udana have been expensive. Mohammad Amir has had an off day, nearly 10 runs and over, and Pulina Taranga also going at 9. So that's where the Jaffna Kings are, and the Galle Gladiators got to chase 202. And in case you have missed the action, just take a look at some outstanding batting by the Jaffna Kings.
Yeah, that's what required for the Jaffna, the Kings. Captain winning the toss, deciding to bat, and these two openers responded very well to the captain's call. Went after the bowlers from the word go. Were lucky to start with. Fielding wasn't up to the mark. And these two batters, they kept on grinding the bowlers, kept on finding the boundaries. Avishka Fernando once again was brilliant, along with Cadmore.
Kola Cadmore was in fantastic form, as well as Avishka Fernando. Anything in his arc was going big, similar to Kola Cadmore. Powerful knock, celebrating his 50. I mentioned about sometimes the used deliveries when the Galle Gladiators have pitched out. I'm more disappointed with the fielding, especially. This was easily taken by Dhananjay Gunatilaka at deep mid-wicket. Tushar going for that slower delivery. And Kola Cadmore, we all know once he gets going, someone is very hard to stop. And even Surudana, experienced Surudana, I should say, is going big. A couple of misfields again. Dhananjay Lakshan, one of the culprits. And this was a great effort. A short fine leg by Tushar.
Yeah, after a good start, 200 runs were to be taken, and that's what Cadmore and Pereira did in the end. Hit big boundaries, got few chances, but capitalized. And Shoaib Malik flailed the willow, was able to find few sixes, and then found the fielder.
And this is Pereira. Final lower, Dhananjay Lakshan. This was right in his arc, over long on. Slow ball into the pitch. It's waiting to be hit. And finishing the job very well, the Jaffna Kings. Scoring 201 for 3.
That was a sparkling performance by the Jaffna Kings, 201 for 3. The two umpires coming out. And just to let you know, some interesting piece of information. No team has chased a target of more than 200 in the history of a T20 final. The highest ever chase has been 200. So that is an interesting piece of information. I told you, our statistician Arun Gopalakrishnan is in top form, and he's been fishing out some really good information.
Yeah, he's trying to put fear in Galle Gladiators' batter's mind. But let me tell you, this can be a thriller. The pitch is so good. The ball is coming onto the bat very nicely. And the outfield lightning quick. If the openers don't go the manic way, just play that power play intelligently, oh, it can be a riveting game.
Luka called it right. Probably the best batting pitch right throughout the LPL for me. Had a closer look before the play. It just looked absolutely rocking hard. It looked very, very fine for batting.
Captain Ferrer at the moment must have been chatting with the player along with the senior man, Shoaib Malik. It's not an easy pitch to bowl on. Yes, we got 200 runs on the board, but still we have to work hard. We have to pick up wickets. We have to field well. Otherwise, we might get surprised here because these two batsmen making their way in are able batsmen and in form.
Well, that partnership is going to be massive. It's going to be a critical part of this game. Danushka Gunatilaka and Kusal Mendes had a brilliant stand in the last game. They enjoyed themselves. They need a similar kind of start. They need to take that pressure out. At the moment, the required rate is a little more than 10 runs and over. On this surface, we've spoken about it, how good it is. That's not frightening by any stretch of imagination. But the key would be this pair of batsmen. How far can they take this opening stand?
The batters, they have to come out and enjoy themselves. They don't have to bat desperately. Such a good pitch, this. Just try and farm the gaps. And he's got the ability. Look at the strike rate, 150. That's more than decent. And his partner, the left-hander, both can complement each other.
Well, he hasn't enjoyed a really good season, but he did in that last innings at Hambantota. Wasn't at his fluent best in Colombo. Well, this is one man who's done tremendously well for someone as young as he is, just 21 years. 15 wickets. Look at that economy, look at the best. It's been a fantastic tournament for him. And he has been that familiar, he has played that familiar role at the top in the power plays with the new ball. He's turning out to be a permanent feature, not in every T20 team he plays. He is part of the national setup, now he's part of this Jaffna Kings setup. He's got to slip in. He's got a square leg out on the boundary, mid-wicket out on the boundary, and here is the first ball. And straight away runs for Kusal Mendes. We spoke about how good the surface is. That is an indication. Just coming onto the bat quite nicely and pushing it through the line.
A good start by Kusal Mendes. I just want to make a point on Mahesh Deekshana. Economy rate at 6.2. For a bowler who bowls bulk of his overs in the power play, that's a great effort. Confidence boosting start by Kusal Mendes.
Now that's what he did so well in the previous innings. Use the acreage. Kept on hitting the ball into the gaps.
The question is, second over, Roshan. Tisar Perra will get one into Hasarangin, Jaden Seals or a Suranga Lucknow. Personally, I would look to see Jaden Seals the new ball. Two top batters, Kusal Mendes and Danushka Gunatilaka. Jaffna Kings can get rid of one of the batsmen with Jaden Seals' pace and bounce. I think they are in the game straight away.
I get the feeling that he'll take that route, definitely a seamer, because he has used the two spinners with the pitch helping them. But here is Gunatilaka on strike. Top ball. That's an off break. Tends to fire the ball in. And what amazes me, not just him, but Ajantha Mendes also, because they flick the ball at pace. They just flick it, the carom ball. Imagine pace and control. Now that is an amazing release. It's something that the bowlers are now starting to develop. A bit of turn, another single, quick single.
Here's the control, which separates him from the boys. Deekshana. Yeah, for sure, this innings require wings. Yeah, enjoying Red Bull. It's becoming a very, very popular drink amongst the sportsmen.
Interesting piece of information again. Now, Jaffna Kings versus Galle Gladiators before this game had played 3 matches and lost 30 wickets. Thankfully, they have fixed that problem in this game, and they picked the right game to fix it. Now, they played 7 other games and they lost only 29 wickets. So you can see the domination that the Galle Gladiators had over the Jaffna Kings up to this game. And no wonder they lost all 3 games to the Galle Gladiators. But completely different story here. Right, last ball of the over. Oh, Gunatilaka, has it gone far? Yes, I think just over the line. Good effort, very good effort. But I think it had enough legs to take it over the line. Would have been an outstanding catch. I don't think it was easy. But a good way to finish the over, 11 off it.
जिंदगी ब्राइट है खुल के जी ले हैप्पी ये दिल है फ्री मस्त वाली ये हवा चली दिल को है ठंडक मिली
It's so close and yet so far here for the right arm off spinner. He very nearly had his man, but just over the line. Good effort, but just over the line.
It was good batting as well. At the same time, yes, there was an opportunity for a second for the fielder, but took risks, and that's what they have to do. Keep on taking chance every over. So these are the guys who have worked so hard to make LPL reality once again.
Thumped for Kusal Mendes. Short and wide. Don't bowl there to him.
Well, with this length, you've got to have a precise line. Just a bit of room outside the off stump. This is such a true pitch. Batsman can afford to hit the ball on the up, and that's what he did.
And this means the length is very, very key. The line was marginal, but the length was way too short for a player like Kusal Mendes, who's very strong. The back foot.
Right, third man out on the boundary, fine leg out on the boundary. Again, just running it down to third man. Just a bit of bounce there outside the off stump.
That's the strength of Jaden Seals, but he shouldn't be trying to do overdo. Danish Gunatilaka and Kusal Mendes are very strong back foot players. Try to pitch it up. The 6 to 8 meter length is very, very key. Out of his 7th game, but I was told he has bowled only in 5 games. One game, a day game, can't remember who exactly it was, and 5 games and 14 wickets of economy of 725. Any captain's dream.
Well, it's a great prospect, I think, for the West Indies. It's a great prospect. Danushka Gunatilaka on strike. Goes over cover. That's a boundary. They got 9 of the first 3. That was foolish and wide of the off stump, but Danushka Gunatilaka made room for himself. Look at it. Just go a little bit wide, and Seals went wider.
Such a true pitch. As a batsman, you can start trusting this pitch from the word go. And the bounce is consistent. Backed away from the stumps very early. And opted for the right area to hit the ball. Took the elder route though. He's reached double figures. Gunatilaka. And a good start.
This time on the leg side, they're running the first run hard. They'll only get, in fact, they're coming back for 2. It's a large ground, don't forget.
That time the ball swung in, because the length was much better, much fuller. The line was a bit straighter. Pace on the ball can be damaging. the fielding team, but saying that if Jaden Seals gets in the right areas, there's something in this pitch.
He looks a different bowler when he looks to create those angles, go wide of the crease, look to crank the batsman. He should remind himself of that.
Short ball. Where has that gone? One bounce for 4. He's enjoying himself. He's feasting on Seals. He's already this over costing 15 runs. 26 of the first 11.
Yeah, he's feeling at home. Gunathilake. He was the highest scorer. The first edition of LPL. Scored more than 490 runs. And in the first game we saw that. He batted with authority and chasing 200 runs. He's batting like a king and he's feasting.
Feasting just like the Manchikome. Amazing so far, Dhanush Gunathilaka. The natural length of Jaden Seals has gone for plenty straight away, getting the third man up and square leg back to Dhanushka.
Right, let's see what he does here. Last ball. Cleverly bowled. And still get a single. So that's a big over, 16 off it, 27 without loss in the first 2.
නිමල් දසිල මහත්තයා මේ දේශනය කරගෙන යනකොට මට හිතෙච්ච දේ තමයි රැසිල් රාජපක්ෂට මොළ හතක් නැහැ කියන එක බුදු කියන්නේ. දැන් මේ කිව්වනේ රැසිල් රාජපක්ෂ මොළ හතේ මුදල් ඇමති කියලා. මට ඇත්තටම හිතෙන්නේ මිනිහට මොළ හතක් තියෙනවා කියලා. ඒ මොළ හතක් තියෙන මුදල් ඇමති කෙනෙක් කියලා තමයි මේ
meaning business.
Talk about keeping a shape, watching the ball real closely. And the youngster watching, that's how we do it. Mahesh Dekshana, probably the first time in this LPL put under pressure by 2 batsmen who reads them well, plays on its merit and risk-free. Gunathilaka, 28 of 10 deliveries, just goes to show what sort of a good form he's in.
I don't want to put walkers on Gunathilake, but what he's doing at the moment, it's very attractive and very apt. He's not looking to flat back the ball, especially against Tikshana. He's employing that vertical swing of the bat, and that's where he's playing percentage cricket. Pressure on the fielding side.
Now from round the wicket. This time through the offside, running the first run quickly. Coming back for 2. They've already got 12 of the first 4. Turning out to be a big over.
Playing on its merits. To the offside, this was the previous delivery. For a 6, watching it closely. Flat hit. And the next delivery. Playing on its merit. Not trying to hit too hard. It's not about the 4s and 6s every time. It's about rotating the strike, putting the pressure on the fielders, being in the game. A good power play here. Very interesting game.
Again, another one. Another one from round the wicket, sliding onto the pads. Well, this is raining sixers. This is now 2 sixers in the over. Gunatilaka has hit 3 sixers and 3 fours. Gladiators are now touching that phenomenal rate of scoring of almost 16 and over.
Well, he's the most economical bowler, Jaffna, and Gunatilaka making a statement. You might be an economical bowler and a threatening bowler. Not for me. I have targeted you. I'm coming after you. And so far, he has done it very well. 18 so far. Make it 19 of the over.
Lightening up. That's Gunatilaka. End of the 3rd over. Gladiators 46 for no loss.
Right, some big buildings already, and those buildings are getting bigger and taller for the Gladiators. Those are the comparative buildings. Don't forget, Jaffna Kings had a good start. Everyone was raving about that start, but what about this? Now the asking rate was little over 10. Now it is just over 9. Because that run rate is more than 15 and over.
That's a very good point you made. Bring that to 8. And that's what these two batsmen are looking to do. Taking on their premier bowler, Jaffna. Well, that's a brilliant start.
Yeah, it's all about a good start. Exactly what the Gladiators wanted. And they got. Ashley De Silva, Sri Lanka Cricket Chief Executive Officer in the house, in a close eye. Suranga Lakmal into the attack.
Over cover, over short, third man, short and wide. That's surprising. That is a surprising line and length from Suranga Lakmal. He'll be the first to be disappointed. You got your fielders inside the 30-yard circle, and how do you bowl that length and line?
It was a line. He's created that fear in the bowler's mind, Gunatilaka, and now he's dictating terms. 50 on the board in no time. Chasing 200 runs, brought the required rate to 9 now. Oh, he'll be saddled with so many worries. Pereira, the captain of Jaffna Kings.
The man in charge of pitchers, the international venue manager, Godfrey Pereira. Well bowled, a lot of pace off the ball. He'll be pleased. Godfrey will be pleased with the surface.
Absolutely. I think international venue manager even last year during LPL did a fantastic job. This time a slow delivery by Suranga Lakmal, and got to say, even this year, done a fantastic job, Godfrey Pereira, even at the Arpinda Stadium with trying conditions, with wickets being so dry, did have a good tournament there. As soon as we came here, we all knew what to expect from Hambantota Stadium. Straight away, deep square leg coming up, and third man dropping back, and as I speak, it's going to change again. Suranga Lakmal, just as the first delivery, and third man up, and square leg back. Panic time for the Jaffna Kings.
Why not? They're going at 15 exactly. They'll go on strike. Goes over mid-off. On the up. It is the power play, don't forget. So plenty of open spaces over the 30-yard circle. That's another one that Danushka Gunatilaka just picked. 45 of 16 with that boundary.
Yeah, when he got beaten on the previous delivery, his partner, Mendes, went up to him. He said, you don't have to slog the ball. You don't have to look to hit the ball on the onside. Stick with your strength. You're so good at hitting the ball in the air on the offside. And that's what he did. Good advice from his partner. Yielding good results.
Again, another boundary. It's raining force here. It's raining force. Gunatilaka's 6th boundary. He's hit 3 sixers as well.
Gunatilaka lightening up Hambantota in the south of Sri Lanka. Look at that for a strike. Suranga Lakmal again a slower delivery, giving him some space, some room, keeping his head position very nicely and steady. And there you go. That's where he's very strong. Bread and butter for Dhanush Gunatilaka, getting the crowd elated. So good to see the crowd enjoying, as well as the commentary box.
Would you believe that just 3 dot balls so far in the innings? There have been 39 in the Kings innings when they made 201 for 3. Just 3 dot balls. He's on 49. Just 17 balls, striking at 288. Kusal Mendis has been a spectator. We got 17,000 spectators. Kusal is another one. That's from wide of the crease, just angling it back to the left-hander.
That was a fantastic comeback by the experienced Suranga Lakmal. Full. That was a previous delivery into the pitch, giving some width. And the comeback delivery by Suranga Lakmal was very impressive.
Yeah, the best thing about that stroke was how he dealt with that bounce. To be able to get on top of that and use that bounce to get that elevation. Oh no, very lucky for Galle Gladiators. Gunatilaka survived and got to his 50.
Well, 59 without loss. Gunatilaka is 50 not out. 4 overs completed. Of 19 balls. That is some batting by Dhanushka Gunatilaka. They're enjoying themselves. Plenty of excitement. Lots of support for the Galle Gladiators. That's quite obvious. We are playing in the south, the deep south. Now that's another look. He wanted the single. That was Chaturanga. Just missing. Oh, you know who they are supporting. They're definitely not Galle Gladiator supporters, but these guys are relieved. They're all standing up to a magnificent innings by Dhanushka Gunatilaka.
Innings of highest quality on so many counts. Chasing 200 runs against one of the best bowling attacks in this LPL. Came out with a purpose. Hasaranga has been entrusted upon in the power play. First ball in the air, and a good result once again for Gladiators and that man Gunatilaka.
I think this was Googly's start off by Vanidhu Hasaranga. Dhanush Gunatilaka giving some room, playing the percentages right. Much slow by Vanidhu Hasaranga, not giving any pace. All the pace was made and by Dhanush Gunatilaka and sailing over long off for a boundary. Very good start.
4 of the first ball. Again, a pitch taken. Wicket taken. Dhanushka Gunatilaka goes. Vanidhu Hasaranga, the man with the golden arm. He does something. When he's on, he creates opportunities. And that is why he's rated so highly. Gunatilaka thumped him down the ground for 4. And then this one gave himself room. Slower again. Excellent catch by Tichara Pereira. Gunatilaka is naturally disappointed. His outstanding innings comes to an end. Kurundalaka goes for 54, just 21 balls. It's 63 for 1. Is the new batsman, extremely experienced player. Hasn't had a great LPL, but he'll have to kick on from here. Wanidhu Hasaranga. Oh, gets an edge out first ball, I think. Yes, he is. 2 of 2. Wanidhu Hasaranga is starting to wield his magic. Ben Dunk just looking to go across the line. That with the wrong and to the left hand, I think. And a fairly simple catch.
And he was facing the first delivery. Wasn't needed. He could have afforded to play a couple of dot deliveries, get the feel of the pitch. Went after Hasaranga, had to pay the price. Good start being spoiled. 63 for 2.
Mohammad Hafiz is the new batsman. What a roller coaster this has been. Just a little while ago, the Jaffna Kings were on the back foot. They were defending, and now they're looking at a hat-trick. They got 2 wickets of 2 balls. Wanidhu Hasaranga it is. Mohammad Hafiz on strike. He's got to slip in. Long off is out. Backward square leg is out. The rest saving 1. And he survives the hat-trick. But what an over it has been. 4 wicket and a dot ball.
It's amazing now when a batting team going so well. 1 becomes 2. That's purely because of Ben Dunn's bad decision, the first delivery. You have a player like Kusal Mendes in the other end. It's important to get some stability. Saying that Kusal Mendes too got to play a big role. The Galle Gladiators to go and win this game.
Yeah, you could understand. Gona Tilke, he was in a cavalier mood. It's very difficult to hold back after that. But Ben Dunk should have given himself a bit of chance. Taken the aerial route, into the gap. And kind of a good finish for the over. 67 for 2.
.67 for 2. Well, the fight is on. Unfortunately, 2 wickets have fallen. That was in the last over. Anushka Gunatilaka, who was doing all the damage, then Ben Dunk. Now the good news for the Gladiators, the conditions are good. The required rate around 9, which will be manageable. Last ball of last over. Mendes. Nicely putting that over short mid-wicket. He's done his job, went for 9, went for 8, but picked up 2 wickets. It's got his team back into the game. They were looking at each other's faces for a while, the Jaffna Kings. Jaden Seals. It's got a slip in place. With on offer, more runs.
Well, got away with one there, Jaden Seals. Wide, long hop. Mohamed Hafiz probably feels he should have put that away for 4. But what a start to this run chase. Incredible from Anushka Gunatilaka to start off with. Got them ahead of the game, but then that Ben Dunk first delivery dismissal has just let Jaffna back in here. Didn't need to do that, did he? High risk shot when Indu Hasaranga, best bowler in T20 cricket. Googly first ball.
Yep, holding your nerve is key. We're gonna have a look at that. Direct hits, generally closer than we think.
Give me a best side on, please. Roll forward, roll forward. Okay, thank you. I made my decision.
Last over of the power play. 4 balls remaining. Men responsible for putting on the show. Sports Minister Honorable Namal Rajapaksa and President of Sri Lanka Cricket Shami Silva. Oh, that's running away. That's squeezed through. 4 runs. They keep flowing.
Good ball from Jaden Seals, decked in at pace, 137 Ks, and absolutely flew away off the inside edge of Mohamed Hafiz's bat. No chance at all for the man in the deep on the leg side. And Seals is being expensive here, unlike him. Tikshana and Seals, 2 of the top bowlers for the Kings this season, being attacked.
Oh, 4 again. Leg buys this time. Doesn't matter. The crowd are loving it.
Well, at 77 for 2, you have to give credit to the Galle Gladiators because they haven't chased and won often in this season. Only once they chased and had a win. That was against Kandy Warriors. So far, they're doing quite well in terms of runs accumulated. Way ahead of the game. Got to make the accommodation for a few wickets if you're going after a big total like 201.
Digs that in. This would be the highest power play score. 1 ball remaining. He's asking for a wide, thinking it was way over.
Also want to credit Gunatilaka for the innings that he played. Gave the innings a jump start, exactly what was required by the Galle Gladiators in this run chase. Batsmen at the crease must play their natural game.
Oh, gets that away as well. This won't run away. Oh, yes, it does. Outfield very, very quick. 14 off the 6th. 81 for 2, the Gladiators. into the power play. The field restrictions are lifted, so some breathing space for the Jaffna Kings. Now 121 of 84, that's gettable. In these conditions, yeah, you fancy yourself. Squeezed one to fine leg, 4 leg buys, and then the last ball as well. No timing in it. But he got it away for 4. Hasaranga. Big spaces, big spaces. You have to show intent with the running, and the Gladiators do.
Last ball of the previous over absolutely took off that. Struck Mohamed Hafiz on the glove. Very lucky that looped up over Romanullah Gurbaz, and Jaden Seals quite rightly very frustrated with that over. He was unlucky.
Again tries to get it into the gap, but good work in the deep. Hafiz wants it. Oh dear, oh dear. Hasaranga reacted well. Good work in the deep. It was quick across the grass. Avishka Fernando.
Best side on angle plays.
I think he's in trouble.
Roll it forward. Batsman well short of the crease. I made my decision for the big screen.
The image says it all. Out will be the decision. Yes, very unnecessary. Mohamed Hafiz searching for 2, which was never on. He goes for 14 from 9. Another one down for the Gladiators. It's 84 for 3. We'll have a timeout.
For 1. That was the Jaffna Kings score. 118 of 82. Bhanuka Rajapaksa is the new batsman, and this partnership is going to be very crucial for the Gladiators. A slip awaits for Hasaranga. This is the most crucial battle. Hasaranga versus Rajapaksa, because Samit Patel, Dhananjay Lakshani, Surudana, Pulina Taranga, that's the batting to come. So a wicket here will really put pressure on the Gladiators. But in terms of the run rate, Gladiators are smiling. Oh, asking for it. Nothing on it from umpire Vimala Siri. No review taken as that timer wastes its time. Crucial wicket.
He's top scored on previous occasions for the Galle Gladiators in the earlier matches against the Jaffna Kings. That was a run out of Mohamed Hafiz. There was never 2 runs on. He was just ambling out of his crease. Paid a heavy price for it.
He had an opportunity to run out both batsmen there, Hasaranga, and he chose to go to the keeper. That was the easier option. Hafiz hesitated slightly on the way back. But yeah, it was all his fault. Can blame no one but himself. That's 2 silly dismissals, Dunk and Hafiz. Will that come back to bite them?
Almost sneaking through. 7 gone, 86 for 3.
Feel the spark again in our powerful hybrids. Toyota, let's go places.
Dhanushka Gunatilaka. They started needing 10, now they need less than 9 because of him. That's Dhanushka Gunatilaka trying to go offside. Well judged by the captain, Isra Pereira. Geez, he batted so well. They were going at 15, 16 when he was in. The off-spin of Shoaib Malik introduced.
Fantastic innings from Gunatilaka, guys. 54 of 21 balls. When you're in that kind of form, though, and he just decided to continue going, didn't he? Even when Hasaranga came on. In hindsight, obviously that's a wonderful thing, but I wonder whether that was the right decision.
Oh dear. Another opportunity, but Bhanuka Rajapaksa. GC turned back quickly.
He did, and all credit to him for recognizing that there wasn't a single on. He's going to be crucial in this run chase if the Gladiators are to get there. So a little bit of pressure building now.
Look at point, look at short extra cover, they're creeping in. No one on the onside, so he gets off strike, but that's good from Shoaib Malik. 2 dots, get the batsman off strike. The Shoaib Malik over for 6 runs you take, that's a bonus.
Well, Shoaib Malik should know that for Kusal Mendes, if you bowl just back up a length and push him onto the back foot, his strike rate is a lot lower than if he plays off the front foot, so you don't want to give him that full length. You want to make sure that it becomes difficult for easy run scoring. With pressure, you're hoping that an opportunity for a wicket will come.
Shoaib Malik stays around the wicket. Sweeps, but finds the fielder.
exactly what I've been saying. Kusal Mendes to spin off the front foot. He is very, very good striking the ball in front of him. He's not afraid to use his feet. But then when he's off the back foot, it's only 110, the strike rate.
Well paced. Quick single, Rajapaksa taking his time to play himself in.
And Russell, in a good batting surface, you've got to try and take every little bit of competitive advantage against a batsman. And he's been the leading run scorer for the Gladiators, so why not adjust your length, push him back, slow him down a bit, send that required rate up.
Oh, faster delivery. A bye to end the over, but a good one from Shoaib Malik. 14 runs. 8 overs, 90 for 3. Great scenes, wonderful atmosphere here in Hambantota. Everyone enjoying themselves, and the Gladiators are very much in the hunt, very much in the chase. Tikshana bowls that length you were talking about. Again, Avishka Fernando, brilliant in the deep.
Well, it's been an action-packed 8.1 overs. The Gladiators entertaining the crowd at the moment. Really good bit of work in the field. We've got a few VIPs and a few dignitaries in too. Really is a brilliant atmosphere. This is the first domestic tournament in Sri Lanka where we've had crowds in, 50% capacity allowed. And they've come in their droves. Really lit up the tournament. Not just here, but at the Premadasa too.
That never should have been a single there. Tikshana into his third over, very expensive for the moment. Wow, just wow.
Perfect respite for these pandemic times that the world is experiencing. Proud moment for Sri Lanka, this Lanka Premier League, and the success that it has achieved.
Tends to create that length that suits him, Mendes. The Kings have done well over the last 2-3 overs, taken the opportunity to bowl some dots, push that required rate up once again.
Good boy, good boy, good boy!
15 balls since the last boundary. Oh, gets that through. 4, just a little short. Rajapaksa's got good wrists.
Good wrists and really fast hands as well. Length wasn't too bad, wasn't that short, but it was the width, and he pounced on it. Classic cut shot.
Should be more motivated than Tessera Pereira to lift this title. Bhanuka Rajapaksa, still young in his international career, just 30 years of age, hasn't played test match cricket, but very much a part of the white ball team for Sri Lanka.
Oh, he chips that in the air. Well weighted.
I think he's matured as well as a leader. He was the captain of the Galle Gladiators in 2020 when they played the final against Jaffna. Now he's here again, and he's been leading from the start, so maturity shown from Bhanuka Rajapaksa. And as a leader, as a batsman, he's contributed significantly.
Gets inside it, slaps it. Oh, gone for 6. Through the hands of Chaturanga De Silva. 100 up in the 9th over. 104 for 3.
Crowd quite vocal here. The Mahinda Rajapaksa Stadium. That last shot so close but yet far. Sri Lanka's cricket alive and well with this response and the passion shown from the crowd.
This was the final delivery of the previous over. Up and over from Kusal Mendes, went a long way across. I think it might have just gone over.
Hello, nice ball.
Malik saw Rajapaksa coming.
Right.
They're up with the game well alive. 98 of 6. '65.
Make a good point there.
Chips it straight to short extra cover.
What a final 10 overs we could have on our hands here. The Galle Gladiators pink worm just ahead of the Jaffna Kings white worm. They've lost 3 wickets so far. They've entertained the crowd, been aggressive. Can they keep wickets in hand? And if they do that, they may well get over the line here. Required rate is now under 10, 9.6. Tishana's back for his final over. None for 44 so far. Good bit of fielding on the boundary rope. It's going to be another couple. Roshan Abhisinger and Parviz Maharouf have joined me. It's interesting how they've attacked Tishana, these Gladiators batsmen.
Well, 94, 59 balls. And it's so important that we do this, even while commentating, because we understand the importance of Dettol and sanitizing. And that's exactly what we are doing, even with the mic in hand. Fingers.
Multitasking.
Multitasking is the word.
Roshan, we all know you're a good multitasker, Roshan. Well done.
Right, a magnificent crowd. 93 of 58 and some dignitaries. Sanama Rajapaksa, Minister of Sports and Youth Affairs, in conversation with the President of Sri Lanka Cricket. Architects of this Lanka Premier League, spearheading it. Rajapaksa, oh, just eludes the man. A short fine leg. That would have been an outstanding catch. But it trickles away for 4. It's not been Tikshana's day.
A fantastic effort by Suranga Lakmal at short fine leg. Just not good enough. Mahesh Tikshana, dare to forget this time. Banu Rajapaksa sweeping on line. Smooth at the length, down the leg side. And look at this for a lanky fast bowler. Great effort. Very good effort.
Tishana, we're so used to seeing him go for 5, 6 and over. This has been destruction. None for 51 off 3.3. Has he picked up a wicket though? He has. A big one too. Rajapaksa. He's gone around the park, but in his final over, he's delivered.
This is a huge scalp. This is a huge scalp. Bhanuka Rajapaksa for a moment thought that it got enough to get over the line. But eventually, Tikshana has some reward, some success, some joy to celebrate. You can't keep Vanidhu Hasaranga out. Excellent catch in the deep.
Just what the Jaffna Kings needed. Mahesh Tikshana, always having an off day, picked up the important wicket. The captain of the Gladiators, who's gone. The 14 of 16, the Gladiators losing their 4th at 113.
Samit Patel, vastly experienced all-rounder, comes to the crease. He's played a couple of cameo innings in this tournament, including 42 in the first game of it against the Kings, which turned into one of the match-winning performances for Galle in that game. Oh, that's the other one when he flicks out. Real pace on that one too from Tikshana.
Straight away having a slip field as well. Captain being himself, this was a big wicket. Vanidhu Hasaranga under pressure, keeping very cool. And look at that, Praveen Jayakuramash Bandara, the 12th or the 13th man. Joy can't keep away him for a long time.
Tikshana's done expensive. 51 runs he's gone for, but he's picked up a big wicket. 113 for 4. Gladiators batting has been smoking. So has certain elements of the crowd. It's been a pulsating run chase so far. 11 overs, got 9 overs to go. Where do you think this one's going to go? Required rate 9.89. Chaturanga de Silva's into the attack and immediately induces an edge from Kusal Mendes. Good fielding from Saranga Lakmal. The tall fast bowler on my left, Faviz Maharouf, gave him a big clap there.
A great piece of work that shows the commitment. That ball sliding on. Great piece of fielding, really good piece of fielding. That's the commitment you need. Now Jaffna Kings realize that though the run rate is quite high and good for the Gladiators, that they've got the openings they're looking for. They've been getting wickets, they've been just getting those openings. 2 wickets on 63, now slip in, 84 and 113. Let's look at the field. They've got a slip in. They brought a man into that short extra cover area for the drive. Man at short mid-wicket. Time to create a bit of pressure. Because if you look at the batting left for Gladiators, it's not a batting lineup that will frighten the opposition. But Kusal Mendes, to me, is going to be the key here. He'll have to show the maturity. He'll have to stand up. He's 30 of 18. He'll have to take this side over the line.
Dhananjay Lakshani Surudana Bruna Taranga batting to come. Definitely bad, but under pressure, as you said, Kusal Mendes.
Hard slog sweep into the gap, well placed.
Exactly what the Gladiators want. A boundary each over and 4 to 5 singles. That will keep them in the game. And the crowd from the south supporting their home team. Flat hit. Generally Chaturanga de Silva fires it into the stumps with the angle. Kusal Mendes keeping very low, not trying to hit too hard. Placement perfect.
Yeah, they need to make sure that they don't give too many dot balls. I mean, dot balls will create pressure, and then that run rate starts to climb.
He shimmies down the track. Playing around with Chaturanga's lengths here.
That's what Kusal Mendes does well. Is the length, and then straight away at that moment, coming down the track, working the single, just putting the bowler off the length straight away from the short fine leg. Maya Station coming to short mid wicket. This good captaincy by this Rivera.
Well, they're coming for 2. Samit Patel. Good shot. Placed it well. Backed away and cut into the space. It was an easy 2 in the end.
See, I think what they need to do is at least keep abreast of the required run rate, at least for the next few overs, just to make sure that they don't lose out there, so that when they get to the last 4 or 5 with wickets in hand, they'll be in a good position.
And this is a key partnership. Samit Patel has batted before in the top 4 in county cricket when he was younger. He's no mug with the bat. He's an all-rounder, but he's got plenty of first-class hundreds. We're going to finish with 1. So Chaturanga's first goes for 10, 123 for 4.
And required rate still under 10. The Gladiators. Good over as well. Just 10 runs in that over, 1 boundary, a double, 4 singles, just keeping on check. 79 of 48. Gladiators to have any chance of winning this game. Kusal Mendes got to bat at least the 18th, 19th over. And from Samit Patel, Lakshan and Udana, someone could have played that blinder.
The Galle Gladiators need 79 off the final 48 balls to lift the 2021 LPL trophy. Pretty close in terms of the scores. Galle 6 runs ahead of where Jaffna were, but Jaffna had only lost 1 wicket, so they had a great platform to launch in the final 8 overs. Galle need to keep wickets in hand from here if they're going to win this one. And it's going to be Hasaranga back into the attack at the moment, head and shoulders above the rest of the bowlers in this game for Jaffna. 2 overs, 2 for 13. His final 2 overs could be absolutely vital here.
Well, with the leg spin on, extra cover open, we'll come to that. What will he bowl? Oh, that was what we were expecting. Because Samit Patel is so good inside out, that extra cover area is open. So what Wanindu Hasaranga did was he bowled the wrong and didn't allow that shot. But what is quite apparent here is, obviously Jaffna understands that they've got wickets. Galle Gladiators have lost a wicket or 2 too many. And those 2 overs by Shoaib Malik, it's given Thisara Perera so much of options. Cleverly bowled slower. So those 2 overs that Malik came on and bowled with 5, just conceding 5 runs, has allowed Thisara Perera to rotate his bowlers better. Brilliantly bowled. Now Hasaranga only into his 3rd over. In the gap. Good work in the deep. They'll get a couple of runs. So little things like that can be critical.
And also little things like a tag team fielding effort by Avishka Fernando and Shoaib Malik. Staying in the game, but impressive for me today, Jaffna Kings fielding and the energy committee. I'm sure you'll agree with me.
Well, it's been much better than Galle's. That could be the difference between the 2 sides come the end of the day. You never know. Tossed up again. He's varying his pace nicely in this over, Hasaranga. Let's check out some of Galle's misfields, missed chances. Some of them difficult, like that one from Tishara. Some of them more simple. Maybe someone could have been behind the stumps there. This was a comedy of errors. This was a big miss. Didn't get anywhere near that, Dhananjay Lakshan. That would have been Tom Kohler-Cadmore out with 2 overs to go. Just weren't quite their usual selves in the field.
Yeah, this good bowling by Wanindu Hasaranga. Only bowling Googlies to the extra cover. That's a bit the wind hit towards the mid-wicket for the Googlies, going against the wind. So this is good stuff. Playing the percentages right, the Jaffna Kings.
Nice over from Hasaranga back into the attack. His 3rd goes for just 6. Run rate, required rate now over 10. It's 129 for 4. Right, so plenty to ponder for Galle Gladiators. They're going to take their time out early. For the Galle Gladiators, much rests on the head of Kusal Mendes. 39 not out of 27 balls. He's batted through the innings. His side very much in this final. They need to go at a required rate of 10.43. Chaturanga to bowl his second over. Oh, mix up, mix up! I think that's gone. That could be massive. Kusal Mendes. Jaffna Kings think they have their man.
Director, we have
Looks like it was a direct hit.
Give me a best side on angle, please. Roll it forward, roll it forward, roll it forward. Batsman well short of the crease. I made my decision. My decision for the big spin is
direct hits are always dangerous and always tight. Kusal Mendes, well, the man the Galle Gladiators were hoping could get them over the line. Run out for 39, 129 for 5.
Dhananjaya Lakshan played a massive innings in the semi-final last year to get Galle Gladiators to the final. God, they need the same right now. He's away straight away. And he's there because of a second run out of the innings. Another mix-up.
This is the last hope. That lost by Samit Patel and Kusal Mendes. Huge confusion. Captain Tisarapera, they say never run on a misfield. It's a perfect example. Elated Jaffna Kings dugout.
That's a catch and a vital run out for the captain Tisara Pereira. Not renowned for his fielding, but he's made two crucial interventions so far. And Galle Gladiators will be looking back at two run-outs at the end of the game. Jaffna, they knew how big a wicket that was. Massive celebrations on the field, massive celebrations off it. What's he thinking right now?
Well, obviously disappointment. He'll be kicking himself because his team needed him. But one thing that is very apparent is the spring in that Jaffna step. You could see that. You could see the intent, the way they're moving. They're now smelling blood. They understand that they are in with a real chance. Because at one stage they were on the defensive. Vanidu Hasaranga's over was a defining moment. At least one of the defining moments. And then Bhanuka Rajapaksa's wicket.
Going down leg, I think. Vociferous appeal. That didn't turn, just went straight on with the arm. They're thinking about it. Not sure I would, to be honest.
It has to turn back from that line. Chaturanga de Silva firing it in. Samit Patel did have his heart in his mouth for a little while. This is what Chaturanga de Silva does, almost firing across, and Ramunda Gurbaz. You knew what's going on. Finally coming up.
Lakshan gets a leading edge chance. Taken. That's a really good catch by Hasaranga over his shoulder, running back. One of the hardest catches to take.
The brotherly love. The younger brother obliging and helping the elder brother with a wicket with an outstanding catch. Well, the Galle Gladiators sinking further. This match Floyd said, this is one of the toughest catches. That's the angle. Going away from the left-hander, and take a look at this. Going away from him, falling over his shoulder. Never easy. Never easy. And, well, that's worth the celebration. Look at their celebration. They're happy. They know Dhananjay Lakshan's rather disappointing game comes to an end. Out for 2, 133 for 6.
Kings will be very happy with where they are, given how Galle started, but still have decisions to make in terms of the bowlers. Looks like Shoaib Malik's going to bowl his third. Galina Taranga, the new batsman, strike rate 135 in this tournament, just the 19 runs, hasn't got too many opportunities.
Any catch the field has to run behind, never really, especially under lights. Look at that. You cannot keep him out of the game. And this man, Dhananjay Lakshan, definitely have a day to forget. That's how elated the Jaffna Kings are. And Shoaib Malik coming in the door. 2 right-handed on strike. Get them to hit against the wind, which is a longer part towards the leg side. Smart captaincy, smart thinking. This is what you wins the big championships.
1-1-1-1-1.
And you often see the obsession, don't you, with the ball having to be spinning away from the batsman. It's not too often these days you see an off-spinner coming on to 2 right-handed batsmen. Shoaib Malik's a wily old character. He's good at coming around the wicket. Saw him dismiss Ahmed Shahzad, his countryman, round the wicket, bowling him round his legs earlier in the tournament. Crucial interventions from that man today with ball and in the field. He's fired that in. I think he went for the Ahmed Shahzad delivery again there.
See, irony here is that it's the Jaffna Kings versus Galle Gladiators, so it's like the south and the north. See, obviously Jaffna in the north and Galle in the south, and Manidu Hasaranga, he's from the south and he's playing for the Jaffna Kings, and he's been the man. He's been one of the reasons why that the Jaffna Kings have managed to halt the progress of the Galle Gladiators.
The bravery of Tisra Perera and the Jaffna Kings getting Shoaib Malik, the off-spinner, to bowl to right-handers to hit against the wind. Same option Banu Rajapaksa had with Mohammad Hafiz, canning bowler when it comes to T20 cricket, when the 2 right-handers were on strike in Kola Cadmo. And Shoaib Malik, he did not go for that option. They were thinking of 2 right-handers, off-spinners turning in. This pitch is not turning in, it's going straight, and probably the angles can be used. And Hafiz, we all know his record. There's something Banu Rajapaksa missed out when it comes to tactical side of it, especially bowling from the far end, hitting against the wind.
Tight single. Tight. Had that hit straight.
See, another thing that actually baffled me was the last over. Dhananjay Lakshan. Isru Udana was an option. This is that single. Samit Patel had to sprint. And yeah, he was gone. He was really gone. He was searching for the crease. So there were a few areas that I think Bhanuka could have done better.
Finish with a single. Good over by the veteran Shoaib Malik. Goes for just 6 so far. 1 ball left. Can he close it out?
Spoke about a boundary every over. Haven't got it for a while. Maybe this is the ball. Samit Patel.
Again, fired in by Malik. They come back for 2 and the misfield allows them to get there. Still only 8 off the over though, so required rate over 12. It's 141 for 6 with 5 overs to go.
Moon out in its glory as we look to the last 5 overs of the innings and of this final. Chaturanga de Silva prizing a wicket in his last over, starts his 3rd. And slowly the Jaffna Kings taking more and more control of this game with the ball.
They are almost there to put their hands on this coveted trophy for the 2nd time. Yeah, it was a contest about 3 overs back. When you're chasing 200 runs, you need to have wickets intact. And then you lose 2 wickets through run-outs. That was fatal.
Use of the feet, not quite getting hold of it, Samit Patel. Russell Arnold still a chance for the Gladiators at this stage?
Doubt it. I think the Kings have now got ahead. The last 5 overs has changed the game. 25 balls since the last boundary, that's over 4 overs. 10th over, 106 for 3, Darren. So the last 5 overs, they've lost 3 wickets for 35, and what they're doing right now is taking the pace off, trying to get the batsmen to do all the work. And they're struggling.
Ball them. Once again, Chaturanga de Silva with his left arm spin, doing the business for the Kings.
Both these brothers are big match players. You can expect good things from them. That was his 2nd wicket. Ricocheted off the pads. And now, if there was any hope of the doors were slightly ajar, they are shutting for the Gladiators. It's 143 for 7.
Surudana.
Yeah, boy! He can hit a ball. 16 gone, 143 for 7.
Saranga. Samit Patel searching for the boundary, just a couple runs.
Not been able to break free, Samit Patel. Wickets have been falling from the other end. Chaturanga De Silva getting one to skid through. The ball pitching on the belly. Kulina Taranga beaten all ends up. They're getting closer, the Kings. Runs on the board. Runs on the board is such an important factor in a big game, especially a final.
And it's really the middle phase of the innings where they've let themselves down. Only 60 runs in those 9 overs from over number 7 to over number 15. That run rate just about 6.6 as compared to what the Kings achieved 9 during that phase of the innings and didn't lose too many wickets. So we'll have to say that is where they lost the plot a bit.
Yeah, at the end of 11th over, they were in a very good position, called Gladiators. But from there on, losing wickets, especially Rajapaksha's wicket, for me was the key. The partnership was growing. It was threatening the opposition. They were scoring runs at will. That's in the air. Should clear everything. That's a positive hit.
That's the first boundary. Wire 6-4, Samit Patel. But it's taken 17 balls, and I don't think the Gladiators could have afforded that. But this is good. Right off the meat of the bat. Still a good pitch. The Kings would be so glad that they managed to get such a big score on, but don't go away. But we have seen stranger things happen. 48 of 19 required. One big over, and you're back in it.
Exactly what I was thinking. You just got to keep believing. If you're batting at this stage of the innings, sting 2 boundaries per over. You just never know. 15-16 of the last over, doable. 17 gone, 154 for 7. Requires from 18 balls. Can the Gladiators find the power to hit a few sixes and bring that equation down? They've got to believe. Jaffna Kings will think that they have this one in the bag. Samit Patel, quite powerful with his stroke play, so there is hope still.
3 overs remaining. Lakmal into the attack.
They have to find an over of 20 runs here. That'll make things very interesting. Singles aren't going to worry the opposition captain even a single bit.
And if you're facing Saranga, Lakmal, expect him to nail his Yorkers. Maybe batting a bit deeper in your crease to get under the ball is an option, or maybe out of the crease to get it in the full. One thing for sure, he's shown that he's accurate when he goes for his Yorkers.
You have to move now. You have to move now. You can't leave it too late. Has Rudana got it?
Can't get under it. As was mentioned, maybe a ramp will be a viable option.
Or maybe bat from the off stump. Just use that angle. Just guide the ball towards that fine leg area. There are chances of picking up a boundary there.
Well, they've loved it. They've come in their thousands. It's been a great show. Both teams have been up for it. It's been a great contest, and it's not over yet, even though the Kings are ahead. Congratulations to everyone who made this happen. From the officials, to the ground staff, to the players.
Nail the Yorker once more. Exceptional bowling from the veteran Suranga Lakmal.
And what amazes me with his bowling, he's bowling those Yorkers cross-seam and consistently finding the length.
And wanted to finish up by saying, and to us too. The cameraman for the wonderful pictures.
Flicked away, finds the boundary. Nope. Good work in the outfield. That's been another distinctive thing about this Jaffna Kings team. Their out cricket, superb. Let's hope he's not injured.
Wanindu Hasaranga, who was running around, got to it and flicked it, but looks like a twisted knee. That's not a good sign.
Did he step on the ball? What happened there? Oh, I think it's the hamstring. But did well before it happened. Certainly saving a couple of runs for his side. That's where Jaffna Kings have made the difference with their fielding.
Wholehearted cricketer, Wanindu Hasaranga. He's done his thing for the team, but for himself and for Sri Lanka, you need him at 100%. Substitute on the field, it's Ashin Bandara.
Will it carry? Just short. Lanka Cadmore was running in. Wanted to ensure that he didn't concede a boundary, because that's also helpful.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal with the older ball. Suranga Lakmal. The control he has shown with the older ball is remarkable. Can't say with his efforts with the new ball. It was all over the place.
No, it was hard. Gunatilaka going crazy at that stage.
Sky high. Fielder settles and completes the catch. Well, they're smelling victory, the Kings. It's another one for them.
Samit Patel, he perishes.
Yeah, excellent bowling. It wasn't the Yorker length on that occasion. What he did over there cramped the batsman. Didn't allow the batter to swing his arms freely. Hence, a wicket for Suranga Lakmal. His effort, 22 runs from 20 deliveries, 158 for 8.
Not a pleasant sight. Star performer Wanindu Hasaranga being ushered off the field. Injury sustained. Popped him on the helmet, Jaden Seals, with his pace. And it will be 4-leg buys. Might also need to check as per the concussion rule.
Lakmal, back of a length. Samit Patel had no other option with that rate rising to hit that or try and hit it out of the park. But I like what Jaden Seals did. The moment it went up in the air, he stuck his hands out. It's not as though there was anyone near him. He wanted it. Gets it. Yep, it's been that kind of day for the Galle Gladiators. Well, Sri Lanka will hope that there's not too much damage here. Such a vital clog in Sri Lanka's cricket going forward.
Well, he did the damage with those 2 strikes in an over. Well, slow bouncer was into the stroke early. Flush on the helmet. Concussion protocols were followed. He's okay to carry on. Seems difficult.
Over extra cover. And that will be 4. So a rare victory for Surudana. 2 4s in the over already.
36 off 10 required. That was a good shot. You've got underneath it. Get it over the infield. Or hit the top of a fielder in the infield. You're getting 4 because there's hardly anyone behind. Now, the Kings shouldn't take it easy. We saw Sikuge Prasanna score 32 off 6. We just don't know. Finish it off.
Full toss. Hammered leg side. Not properly timed. Not in the gap. So just a single. But Amir on strike now.
You can't expect 36 of 6 deliveries or 10 deliveries from Mohammad Amir. It seems like the game is long gone. Long gone. Especially after that run out of Mendes, who was batting beautifully. He was holding the key. He went back at the wrong moment for his side. And from there on, it's been a struggle.
Slow ball. Good variation being shown by Jaden Seals, who's grown in stature throughout this tournament. He's been exceptional in terms of his ability to take wickets for the Kings. Today he was a bit expensive. Hasn't taken a wicket just yet.
I thought he was unlucky in that particular over where he went for plenty. Mohammad Hafiz was on strike. Not a single stroke played by Mohammad Hafiz. That's in the air. It should be taken and taken. And it's that man, Shoaib Malik. Took it very easily.
Bowling those right areas. It's Rudana, the batsman, who could have done some damage. But you get it full, give him no space. He follows him. Tries to dig it out. The wickets continue to fall. The Kings hanging on to everything coming their way. Well, there's the wicket for you for today from Jaden Seals. It's Rudana, the latest victim for 9. 168 for 9.
One delivery left in the over. Up and over. Was about timing. Will get a boundary. A little too late for the Gladiators. After 19, 172 for 9. Sarangal Akmal into his third. Will the Kings close it off in this over? 172 for 9. 30 from 6 balls required. Amir on strike. Can he get a 6 off the first ball? Doesn't get hold of it, so inevitable will happen. The Kings sealing victory.
Now, they started off in this final in a grand fashion, setting up the game in their favor through their batters. Captain calling right. Opted to bat first, which was the right decision. And both these sides were in the finals, the first edition of LPL as well. But one side played like champion, the other one looked very nervous in the field.
Sweet timing. Again, the out cricket superb from the Kings. Just a single.
Yeah, they had the better of the Kings though, the Gladiators, and really dominated them. 3 occasions they won on all 3. The Kings losing 3 games, and that was just to the Gladiators. But for this game, they won the toss and didn't make the mistake of asking the Gladiators to bat. They batted and put the runs on the board. They nicked the one that matters.
And that's what good teams do. They recognize when it's the opportunity for them to lift their standard a notch. And that is what we've seen so far from the Jaffna Kings. First with the bat, then in the outfield and with the ball. Fielders supporting bowlers. They've played themselves into a winning position.
And the most important aspect for me about Jaffna Kings, their captain and think tank. They allowed the players to play their natural game. Not too much of information was given to them. They were not asked to move away from their A game, and hence the result is in front of you. Boundaries coming very late. It was a good hit from Mohammad Ahmed, but not consequent.
Amir just enjoying himself. And as we come to the last over of this, the final of a wonderful tournament where we've seen teams compete in different conditions. Surely these two teams are two of the best teams in the tournament, battling it out at the final. Still with the professionalism, Jaffna Kings separating themselves.
Yeah, some great performances. A wonderful platform for Sri Lankan players to showcase their skills, to get noticed, gain experience, and for the Sri Lankan team to reap rewards. Joy for everyone around. The last ball of LPL 2021.
And a good piece of fielding. So there it is, the moment. Once again, the crown jewel of T20 cricket in Sri Lanka going to the Jaffna Kings. By virtue of this win, they go on to win by 23 runs. And the cricketing gods have bestowed them with another title.
Thoroughly deserved it. The out cricket has been absolutely brilliant. Well led. And all the players responded well to the captain's call all the times.
You're so right, Amir. You look at the runs scored, wickets taken, the impact. You'll find many of the Jaffna Kings featuring on that. They had a couple of off days, but they've done enough to be here, and they produced their best game all round against a very good Galle Gladiators team who have been up for it, who have contributed immensely to the success of this tournament and came here hoping and wishing they can get 4 in 4, but not to be. The Kings, they prevailed. They were on fire.
Yeah, for the second time. And the highlight for me, Ganga and Arnold, in this LPL, the local performer, local talent has come to the fore to win the games for their side on many of occasions, and that's very heartening.
Celebrations all around, congratulations being shared in and amongst the Jaffna Kings team, but spare a thought for this man, Monica Rajapaksa and the Galle Gladiators. It's the second time that he will taste defeat in an LPL final. These two sides and franchises would have met in 2020, and it's Tisara Pereira who prevails and will lift the prestigious Lanka Premier League title once more.
And not to forget Shoaib Malik, how well he has contributed in this LPL once again. And talk about tonight, those 3 overs from him without conceding a boundary. That changed the course of the game for me.
It was at that time, yes, because Galle Gladiators, they were coasting. They were 106 for 3 in 10. In these conditions, the favorites at that stage. Yes, you're right. From somewhere, they were able to bring players on and change the game in their favor. A strong team, they had depth, they could make changes and still feel that they're missing nothing. But you have to come out and perform, and that they have. They have been a class above the rest in this tournament. Even the umpires contributed well. It's been of good standard.
Yeah, they were beaten by Galle Gladiators thrice in this LPL. Yes, they were beaten, but not bruised. They came out very strong when it mattered and won the game with a huge difference.
Jaffna Kings, the better team on the night. They started with the bat. They were able to override that psychological disadvantage of losing 3 times previously this season to the Galle Gladiators. And today, when it mattered most, they go on to win by 23 runs. Activities all around, and as we come to the end of another successful Lanka Premier League tournament. Galle Gladiators, Russell Arnold, needed much more.
Oh yes, they were on fire early. Danushka Gunatilaka, 54 of 21, had everyone worried in the Jaffna Kings camp. Kusal Mendy set himself up to guide that innings through, but then wickets started to fall. Initially it was Hasaranga, then the run-outs, the pressure was built by the bowlers. Too much to do once they lost 3-4 wickets and the rate kept climbing. You can see how quickly they fell away after that.
Yeah, only one good partnership with substance, and after that, nothing substantial. And that's where Galle Gladiators faltered.
Lots of bowlers were tried. They went for a lot early. Deekshana was expensive. Seals and so was Lakmal, but they came back because the spinners, Chaturanga De Silva, Shoaib Malik, look at what they contributed in those tight overs. That's the sign of a good team. Having options, having players who can show resilience and bring them back into games.
And the captain wasn't required in this game, who bowled so well in the previous 2 outings here.
The crowning moment where the Kings prevailed once more in the final. Proud moment for their fans, to the ownership, the management, the coaching staff, and a bunch of well-meshed players delivering beyond excellence on the night that mattered the most.
And the way those bench players ran in after winning the game tells you how good environment in that dressing room is. How this unit is well gelled. How everybody hopes and prays for each other's success. And hence, Jaffna Kings, the winners, and the celebrations.
Credit to both teams playing this final in a very good spirit. And this is the match summary of the Wolf 777 News LPL 2021 final. Jaffna Kings reversing the strategy, so to speak, on the Gladiators, batting first and posting an unassailable total of 201 for 3, thanks mainly to the half centuries from Avishka and Kola Kadmore. Galle Gladiators, they looked like they were in it up until the 10th, 11th over, and then they fell apart. The Kings winning by 23 runs. Good gesture by Cesaro Pereira and his men, giving thanks to a wonderful crowd that came in droves and supported cricket in Sri Lanka. Galle Gladiators as well, paying respect to the crowd, which really is the lifeblood for this sport, and they're very passionate about their cricket in these parts.
Oh, let me tell you, they did jazz it up. They created that ambience where the players felt that onus on themselves that they have to come out and perform well. And rightly so, they are thanking the crowd. It turned up in huge numbers.
Spectators, a main part of the success of 2021 Lanka Premier League. Congratulations to Sri Lankan cricket, Government of Sri Lanka and IPG, everyone who has contributed towards making this tournament a great success, especially given the pandemic times that we're in. Wow, hats off to all and sundry who made this possible. Proud moment for all the fans who had the chance to dance, to support their favorite players. And once more, the Jaffna Kings lifting another title, going on to win by 23 runs.
The Jaffna Kings have successfully defended their Lanka Premier League crown. They have won the trophy for the second year in a row. They made 201 for 3 from their 20 overs, having decided to bat first. Avishka Fernando, he's had a fantastic tournament, 63 or 41 balls from him. He and Ramanullah Gurbaz got them off to a fantastic start. Tom Kohler-Cadmore made sure they got over 200 with his 57 not out. The Galle Gladiators, in reply, at one stage were 63 without loss of 4.1 overs. Danushka Gunatilaka, 54 off just 21 balls, but then the Jaffna Kings got to work. Chaturanga de Silva picked up 2 wickets, as did his brother Hasaranga, and they were excellent in the field. In the end, the Galle Gladiators fell 23 runs short in a repeat of last year's final. Fabiz Maharouf is alongside me in the studio. Lots to digest in terms of that win for the Jaffna Kings. And first of all, I mentioned it there, Fabiz, 63 for 1. So without loss, rather, after 4.1 overs were the Galle Gladiators. Will that win feel even sweeter for Jaffna than last year?
Absolutely. I thought the Galle were in the game, and the way Danushka Gunatilaka batted straight away, and Kusal Mendes, the way he possessed the innings, you know, putting the singles and getting Danushka Gunatilaka into strike, and some of the striking by Danushka Gunatilaka amazed me. A player who has not played any competitive cricket for the last 6 months, and already coming into a big tournament when the occasion matters the most, and this guy comes and pounces on it. And this is what big players are paid off. And some of the clean hitting, my station, we all know how good he is in the power play. He was taken for cleaners. So it's not going to be easy for the Jaffnas. And then all of a sudden 1 wicket fell. And as you said, that's the entire break what they needed. And this is good stuff by Suranga Lakmal as well. Got to be said, and it's a run-out chance there. Would have had the curtains for Danushka Gunatilaka. And the crowd's amazing. Just had a brilliant day. And it was just shame he just couldn't go extra mile here. And this was a match-changing moment for me, as you mentioned. When Danushka Gunatilaka was going so well, the man who cannot do anything wrong, who comes at does it and bend down. First ball,
strange shot, first ball, no?
Very strange shot. And you're having Kusal Mendes in the right end, and you have playing that shot, and it's a huge risk. And you also need some balls to understand the turn and the bounce of Vanadu Hasaranga, not taking that. And first ball itself is a huge risk, and this is a huge confusion. Mohammad Hafiz never was in the game, and losing his wicket there.
That was the first of 2 damaging run-outs for the Galle Gladiators. We'll see the second one in a moment, but for a while Rajapaksa and Kusal Mendes were getting going, and then this happened. Good catch by Hasaranga to get rid of Rajapaksa. Big blow.
The big difference for me, Mary, is the fielding from both sides. This is Tisara Pereira to get rid of Kusal Mendes. I'm talking about the fielding. That's what disappointed me from the Galle Gladiators the entire innings. So many misfields and so many missed catches. Look at that for Vanadu Hasaranga of his brother. This was the difference. The fielding for me was the difference, and the attitude, the hunger to win, and everything. Jaffna Kings, I think if you tick those boxes, Jaffna Kings had everything. Setting up the tone, we spoke about in the first 6 overs, you're setting up the tone, and that was the last nail in the coffin. Isrudana, we all know how brutal he could be, but still, when the matter is most, when a bowler Isrudana failed for the Galle Gladiators. So overall, I think Jaffna Kings from the toss have done well, and the little hiccup they had losing in the first qualifier, beg your pardon. Since then, Jaffna Kings came out, beaten Dambulla Giants, and coming here, and the way they finish, full hats off. I think a lot of credit should go to the captain, the coach, the entire franchise, because we spoke about how organized the franchise is. So you're seeing the results in the middle. So that's cricket is all about 2020 cricket.
I'm glad you mentioned the captain, because that was going to be my next question, actually. If you look at it today, the bowlers who've been successful for him earlier in the tournament, the most successful, Tikshana and Seals, both were very expensive early on. So how much credit does he deserve for just saying to particularly Seals, you have a blow there and come back later on, and bringing on the more part-time bowlers, the likes of Chaturanga, Shoaib Malik?
Shoaib Malik, the 3 O's he bowled, I think he gave about 17 runs. Captain cool, that's what you're talking about. You know, a good captain always keeps his nerve, keeps encouraging the players, never loses the cool head. That's Thisara Perera for you. It's unfortunate that he's retired from international cricket because he has matured so much as a captain. You take him off Shoaib Malik's decision of 3 overs, how good a tournament he had. The 25 runs he made with all these sixers. Yeah, it's amazing. Jaffna Kings from the start, we spoke about, I thought deservingly won this championship.
How much mental strength would it have taken from them to get up after those 3 losses to Galle Gladiators? Because Galle had their number, let's be honest, coming into this game.
Psychologically, they would have down. But as soon as they won the toss and batted first, that's where a 1 step was kept. And then the way Galle Gladiators fielded, that gave an extra punch to the Jaffna Kings. And the way Ramul Aguruba started, Avishka Fernando started, Kola Cadmo, the young man from Yorkshire, how he batted. Shoaib Malik, we all know what he could done. And Dhananjay Lakshan's last over by Thisara Perera, these are the little moments that win you games and win you championships.
Avishka Fernando made 63 of 41 balls to get the Jaffna Kings to a very good score. 201 in the end they made. This is off the back of a century in the must-win game, the second qualifier against Dambulla Giants. How much has his stock risen in Sri Lankan cricket in these last 2 innings?
A good player capitalized on good form. The form is temporary, class is permanent. That's definitely Avishka Fernando for you. Went through a tough season, but still, when they batted the most, the Dambulla Giants game 100 and the final 60. That shows the class of the player. And as I said earlier as well, I like to see him in the opening batting. You can see how much damage he could do.
Yeah, I think a lot of Sri Lankan fans would agree with you, actually. He wasn't the only player to go past 50 today for the Jaffna Kings. Tom Kola Cadmore did as well, coming in at number 3. He always scores quickly, TKC, but was this quite a measured innings for him?
I think initially he took some time. He realized he needs to get in, and he always knows he could definitely catch up in those initial deliveries. And you mentioned about Kola Cadmo, the hitter. I saw the technical part of it as soon as he came in, and once he got in, that pitch was eyeing for big shots, and exactly what TKC did. And some of those sixes were clear hits. It would have cleared any ground in the world.
Overall, would you say the Jaffna Kings batting has been a major difference for them? They've been streets ahead of the rest of the teams, haven't they?
The power hitting and the number 4 Shoaib Malik, who uses time, who uses the brain, who uses the occasions. And you have the Thisara Pereras, the Vanindu Hasarangas, the TKCs, the Avishka Fernandos, all these big hitters coming in, and Ashen Ramdika, a left-hander from Army Sports Club, didn't bat, and he's also a good hitter. So I think the Jaffna Kings have done the homework well, and everything was relied on Shoaib Malik to hold the fort for them. So exactly what they did, and they planned out, and you got to give it to the franchise as well, as I keep saying it, and the coaching staff who had done the homework. I read Shoaib Malik interview saying that Tilna Kandambi has given him so much confidence, not only for him, the youngsters not using his cool head. So that's a good sign as well when it comes to the coaching structure of Sri Lanka cricket. So overall, I think Sri Lanka cricket is the winner. Plenty of good players coming in, the good coaching staff coming in, the crowd, the atmosphere. It's just amazing to be around here.
Oh, the atmosphere has been something else today, let me tell you. Been absolutely brilliant. We spoke about the batsmen there, but how about with the ball? They were under real pressure when Gunatilaka was going strong in the early overs. And Wanindu Hasaranga has had, for him, probably a middling tournament, but he got 2 massive wickets today, not to mention the 2 catches as well.
I mean, one of the standards there is set so high. You understand every game is something we like to see him, but he's already human. But when batting most, the last game he didn't pick up a single wicket against Galle Gladiators. Come today, the amount of energy he had in the field, the poor boy had to be taken off here as a hamstring injury. It looks like hopefully it's not that bad. And the way he took the catches of his own brother to get rid of Dhananjay Lakshan just goes to show how gel this team is. So I'm pretty sure going forward, the franchise would like to keep the bulk of these players for the next season as well.
Well, I tell you what, he had to be helped off the field, didn't he, by 2 of his teammates, or the physio and his teammates. So that is a concern, isn't it, for Sri Lanka going forward? If that's a serious hamstring tear.
And the one advice, not plenty of celebrations tonight. You've got to keep some mice. But overall, I think it looks like it's bad, and Zimbabwe one-day series is coming up, so I don't think he should be risked in case if it's a bad hamstring injury, because so much cricket coming up. The Australian tour is coming up, the Indian tour is coming up. You need a fully fit Wanindu Hasaranga for these tours. So I reckon the next 2-3 weeks, if it's a hamstring injury, is very crucial how he recovers.
He's a wholehearted cricketer, isn't he? He's always charging around in the field, and he played a big part today. He got Danushka Gunatilaka out, who was playing sensationally in the first 4 overs. 54 he made off just 21 balls. This was some hitting.
Clean hitting, clean striking, the balance and the shape, not slogging. This is not no means slogging, this is proper hitting. Mahesh Theekshana is one of the best bowlers when it comes to the power play. He was taken for cleaner so easily. So this is a player, as I said, had a point to prove. He's coming home for suspension. Yes, there is more time to suspend Sansu to go forward, and he has given so much to think for the selectors here now. And it's good to see. We speak about Sri Lanka cricket having so many options. Player like Kusal Mendis, Nirushan Dikkala, who had a moderate season for me, but the way Dhanushka Gunatilaka batted today and the first qualifier, I think this is good sign for Sri Lanka cricket, having batsmen in form for selection. So that is very, very important. As I said, overall, I think Sri Lanka cricket is a massive winner here.
Oh, you can see that when you look at the top run scorers in the tournament. Kusal Mendis, who you just mentioned there, Maha, had a fantastic tournament, having had 6 months out. He finished the leading run scorer, 327 runs he scored, good strike rate as well. Avishka Fernando just behind him, so it's Sri Lankan top 2 in terms of runs. Phil Salt and Tom Kohler-Cadmore, an English 3 and 4. They played very well. Salt played very well early on in the tournament. Tom Kohler-Cadmore a bit more consistent through it, and Dinesh Chandimal in there. Rolling back the years, Chandimal with 277. So it's not just, as you say, the young Sri Lankan players that have delivered. A lot of the senior guys have done too.
Dinesh Chandimal, I'm so happy for him. Had a very lean World Cup, had to be dropped as well, and straight away coming into the Colombo Stars. Initially wasn't picked in the franchise, and coming out here, the way he batted, finishing the innings for the Colombo Stars, that has given a new dimension. We spoke about the senior players performing. How about Suranga Lakmal in bowling? The way he nailed his Yorkers. So another headache to have. It's good to have good headaches. So overall, I think, even the senior players have stood up. They've understood this is the biggest occasion they could perform in. Youngsters have grabbed the opportunity. The players who are in the system already have got more confidence and performed very well. So overall, as I said, it's a brilliant concept, and overall LPL has given so many options, and these players have picked up both their hands.
And on the subject of Kusal Mendis, how big a statement is that, having had 6 months out of the game, no competitive cricket, remember, just to say, I know I've got 6 months left of my international ban, but I'm still very much here, Sri Lanka.
I think timely. I mean, they deserved something, that the things what they did, the 3 of the players, but sometimes you need a kick in the backside just to wake you up, and this would have made them more determined to come out there and perform well. So I reckon these boys, yes, they have more time. There's plenty of domestic cricket coming up. Go back to domestic cricket, keep performing, keep scoring runs in the bag. It's always batsman runs in the bag. Put in your savings account, one day it'll come handy. So I reckon these 3 boys have got a perfect platform now. The next 5 months, 6 months, 4 months, we don't know how much is a loss. But you keep performing, keep scoring runs, you will never be ignored.
Okay, well, that's the top batsman in the tournament. Let's have a look at the top bowlers. This is the one that Maha really wants to talk about. Dominated by spinners early on this competition, because we saw a lot of spin in the pitches up at the Premier League, and it's a spin 1-2 in terms of top wicket takers. Samit Patel 16 at a strike rate of 14. Mahesh Theekshana very similar. In fact, Imran Tahir and Jaden Seals both took 15 wickets. Sika Geprasana of the Colombo Stars picked up 13. So only one seamer up there amongst the top wicket takers. Fantastic spin. Let's start with that. We saw some fantastic spin, didn't we, throughout this tournament, particularly at the Premier League.
Yes, Samit Patel, very impressive. Mahesh Theekshana, we all know how good a form he is. Imran Tahir, the best leg spinner, I think, in the modern era, have played and still going on strong. Jaden Seals, mind you, 6 games. He has played 7. Yeah. He hasn't blowed in 1 game. 6 games, 15 wickets for a youngster coming through. Brilliant in Sri Lankan wickets. And that man, Sika Geprasana. We spoke about the seniors getting the chance and making it big. that's another name for you. Dinesh Chandimal, Suyuge Prasanna, Suranga Lakmal. So these are the things that the selectors also want to see. The seniors grabbing the opportunity and performing when it matters the most. Suyuge Prasanna, he hasn't done any harm. His energy is still there, he's still fit enough. So I'm pretty sure he's also been looked at. And Jaden Seals, again, the pace and the bounce. Unfortunately, he couldn't do much with the new ball. But that boy, for a 20-year-old, so matured, someone to look out for in the future cricket.
So Seals, the pick of the seamers for you in this tournament by
100% Seals, Suranga Lakmal, especially the death overs, the two names just pops up into my mind. And overall, I think brilliant. I mean, I just with the bowling attack here, spinners, having a good time down in Colombo, and the seamers getting that pace and bounce and commentating from inside is just magnificent to see the wicketkeeper holding it just high.
Good for you, absolutely. Right, okay, we've got a few awards to hand out, and of course we want to hear from both of the captains and the player of the match. So one final time, let's get downstairs to Roshan Abeysinga for the presentation.
A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a very big congratulations to Jaffna Kings for emerging champions of the second Lanka Premier League and also defending their title. Hello and welcome to the post-match presentation of Wolf 777 News, Lanka Premier League 2021, powered by Fair Play News and presented by Sky247.net. Right, let me thank our partners as we always do. Daraz, Red Bull, CBL Munchie, Dialogue, National Lotteries Board and Multilac, Emerging Media, Dettol, Rario, Tyan Lanka Steel, AIA Insurance, Sat Sports News, Vimal, Mac Tiles and Cycle Pure Agarbatti. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a high-powered presentation party, and let me introduce them to you. We got the Honourable Minister, Cabinet Minister of Youth and Sports, Honourable Namal Rajapaksa. We got the Honourable D.V. Chanaka, State Minister of Aviation. We got Mr. Shammi Silva, President of Sri Lanka Cricket. We got Mr. Ashley De Silva, CEO of Sri Lanka Cricket. Mr. Ravin Vikramaratne, Vice President of Sri Lanka Cricket and also the Tournament Director of the Lanka Premier League 2021. We also have Mr. Anil Mohan, the founder, chairman of IPG. And we also would like to thank the CEO of Sri Lanka Cricket and the staff of IPG and Sri Lanka Cricket. And also a very big thank you to the ground staff at RPICS and MRICS, ably led by Mr. Godfrey Dabarera. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to appreciate our match officials. Can I please call upon Mr. Ashley De Silva, who will first give away the first memento, and it will be given to our match referee, Mr. Ranjan Madugalla. Mr. Ashley De Silva will give away the memento. And then let me call upon Mr. Anil Mohan, the CEO of IPG, to give away mementos to the standing umpires, the 4 standing umpires. Mr. Lyndon Hannibal, Mr. Ravindra Vimalasiri, the 2 standing umpires, and the others, Ruchira Palya Guruge and Prageet Rambukwella. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time now to move with the individual awards. It's the NLB Power Hitter of the Match. The award will be jointly presented by Mr. Kalum Priyankara Lianage, Director of the National Lotteries Board, and Mr. Asanka Randenia, Attorney at Law, Director of National Lotteries Board. And he will receive a check of US 500. And today the NLB Power Hitter of the Match is Danushka Gunatilaka. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to move on to the Dialogue Best Striker of the Match. It will be presented by Mr. Harsha Samarnayaka, Senior General Manager, Brand and Media, Dialogue Asiata PLC, and he will receive $500. It is Manidu Hasaranga. Right, ladies and gentlemen, time to move on to the Wolf Player of the Match. The award will be presented by Mr. Ravin Vikramaratne, Vice President of Sri Lanka Cricket, and the award carries $1,500 and it is Avishka Fernando. Ladies and gentlemen, now it is the season performances, and it is the Sky 27 Player of the Season award. It will be given away by Honorary D.V. Chanaka, State Minister of Aviation, and it will carry US 5,000. It goes to Avishka Fernando. Avishka Fernando, the player of the season. Right, Avishka, can we have a quick word with you? Ladies and gentlemen, Avishka is reluctant to speak in English, so we'll talk in Sinhalese and we'll try and translate it for you. Congratulations. ඔබට අපි සුබ පතනවා. මේ ලැබූ ජයග්‍රහණය ගැන මොකක්ද ඔබේ අදහස? ඔබ ශතකයක් ලබා ගත්තා. මේ තරඟේ අර්ධ ශතකයක් ලබා ගත්තා. දැන් ඔබ තරඟයේ වීරයා, තරඟාවලියේ වීරයා.
ඔව් ඇත්තටම ගොඩක් සතුටුයි. මොකද තරඟාවලියේ වීරයයි ෆයිනල් එකේ මෑන් ඔෆ් ද මැච් වෙන එකයි. ඉතින් මට කරන්න පුළුවන් දේ මට කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා හිතුණා. ඉතින් ඒ දේ කරා. ගොඩක් සතුටුයි.
Right, I asked him about his performances, winning the award of the man of the match and also the player of the series, and he says he's done his best and he's extremely pleased about it. Then ඔබ ලෝක කුසලානේදී පන්දුවට පහර දුන්නේ නම්බර 4 පිතිකරුව හැටියට. දැන් ඔබ නැවතත් ආරම්භක පිතිකරුවගේ තත්ත්වයට පැමිණ සිටිනවා. මොකක්ද ඔබ හිතන්නේ? ඔබ ඉදිරියට මොකක්ද ඔබේ බලාපොරොත්තුව?
ඔව් ඇත්තටම මම ගොඩක් මැචස් මම ෆේල් වෙන්න ගත්ත නම්බර 4 බැට් කළා. ඉතින් මම ආයෙත් අපේ ටීම් එකත් එක්ක කතා කරලා මට ඕපන් කරන්න හම්බුණා. ඉතින් මම හිතන්නේ මට ඕපන් තමයි ඉස්සරහට හරියන්නේ කියලා.
Right, I asked him about his batting position. He batted at number 4 in the World Cup, batting opening here. So he thinks his position is opening and he likes to do that. All right, Avishka, bomi stuti api opata supatno.
Thank you.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, that is Avishka Fernando. And now it is for the emerging player of the season. The trophy will be jointly presented by Mr. Ravindra Samaravikrama, Secretary to the State Ministry of Rural Schools and Sports Infrastructure Development Ministry, Mr. Lalit Pium Pereira, Attorney at Law, Chairman of National Lotteries Board, and it is Janit Lianage. He will receive a check of US 1,000. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for the strongest player of the season. It will be presented by Mr. Viraya Tyagaraja, Chairman of Thailand Lanka Steel Company, and it will receive $1,000 US, and no surprises here. It's Thisara Pereira, the strongest player. He certainly packs a punch, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, it's time to talk to the losing captain. Can I first call Banuka Rajapaksa? Banuka Rajapaksa of Galle Gladiators, if you can come here first. Talk to us before you go and collect your award. It was so close and yet so far, Banuka, second time unlucky. Tell us your thoughts.
Yeah, first of all, praise Lord for the journey that we have come through, and see, I'm very satisfied with the boys' effort. I know we haven't won the title, but you know the effort that the boys put, it's quite amazing. And yeah, yet again we finished second, not the bride, just the bridesmaid again. So hoping at least we could do it the next year.
Yeah, I know it's not an easy interview, but where do you think you went wrong? Because you know this was a game, this was a final that you were playing a team that you had dominated 3 times.
See, as I said before, it's like playing a series against Jaffna, because we have played 3 times, and this is the 4th time that we met them. And after the 200 that we were chasing, you know, the effort that openers put in, especially Danushka, the way he batted, it showed his class. I think we lost a couple of quick wickets and we lost the momentum afterwards. At the same time, not to put the blame on anyone, I think we, you know, misfielded too many, and we lost the match by 20 runs. And you know, misfielding on a good final, you know, it affected the game.
Looking back at the LPL, what are your thoughts? Your personal performance? You spoke about the team, but generally, how would you sum it up?
Personally, I'm quite happy with the performances and the leadership that I showed. You know, I want to just, you know, take this opportunity to thank the supporting staff, all the franchises, you know, who got together and made this a possible task. At the same time, you know, all the doctors and everyone who was behind this. Special mention to IPG, SLC, and the franchise, Mr. Nadim Oman, who had been with us for 2 successful years, and you know, sports minister who had been always, you know, backing cricket. And yeah, I just want to take this opportunity to thank them.
All right, Bhanuka, bad luck today. Thank for the entertainment and all the best. Go collect your award from Mr. Shami Silva, President of Sri Lanka Cricket, and your $50,000 award and the medals on behalf of the team. He will receive his medallions and US $50,000 from the President of Sri Lanka Cricket, Mr. Shami Silva. Right, ladies and gentlemen, it is the moment we've been waiting for. It is the time to invite the winners. And even as the captain of Galle Gladiators walk off, can I invite the winning captain, Thisara Pereira, to first come and talk to me. Congratulations, Thisara, fourth time lucky for you against Galle Gladiators.
Yeah, you know, first of all, I'm really honored to lead this team. Especially, I have to tell about our owner, Mr. Subhashkaran Aliraja, because he gave me super power to pick the team. So that's the main important thing for this winning movement. I think I'm really happy today.
But you look worried when that opening partnership was happening. You certainly look worried.
Yeah, actually, you know, we all confused because Dhanushka batted really well. So, but they have to score 200 runs. That's why I said, so 200 runs mean it's really difficult to chase, especially, in the finals, it's really difficult.
Yeah, it's a great achievement to emerge winners again and defend your title. Very quickly, looking back at the LPL, what are your thoughts?
I think very, much better than last year. I think we can do more better than next year, I think, but I have to say a few more words about our sport minister and tournament directors, Sri Lanka Cricket, and especially doctors and Sri Lanka Army. I have to mention that because I'm the officer of the Sri Lanka Army.
Yes, so, you have to remember that.
So thank you for everything, and thanks for the fans because they cheer up really well today for us. Thanks for everything for all of you.
All right, congratulations. Yeah. Thank you for the entertainment. Go collect your check of $100,000 from the Honourable Minister, Mr. Namal Rajapaksa, and also the winner's trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, the champions, Jaffna Kings. $100,000 is the winning prize money, and he will now receive the winner's trophy from the Honourable Minister of Sports and Youth Affairs. Collect the trophy, Thisara. Collect the trophy from Honourable Namal Rajapaksa. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the big moment. Jaffna Kings. Congratulations to them. And in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank dignitaries, Honourable Namal Rajapaksa, Cabinet Minister of Youth and Sports, Honourable D.V. Chanaka, State Minister of Aviation, Mr. Shami Silva, Mr. Ravin Vikramaratne, and Mr. Anil Mohan, CEO of IPG. And that concludes our post-match presentation, ladies and gentlemen.
The fireworks are in full flow, and the Jaffna Kings have their hands on the LPL trophy for the second year in a row. Richly deserved. There's going to be some party later. The party's already started here at the Mahinda Rajapaksa Stadium. It's been a great atmosphere all day. The crowd has come in their droves, and they have seen a very impressive performance from the Jaffna Kings. Richly deserved their position as champions. They have been absolutely brilliant this season, Maha. And when they stood up and counted when it mattered. Having lost 3 games against the Galle Gladiators, that didn't matter. They won the big one.
And when it mattered the most, the senior players came out firing, and everyone chipped in, all the youngsters, the senior players, as I mentioned. There were players like Upul Taranga couldn't find a place in this team, and the youngsters getting this opportunity. I cannot hear myself in so much celebrations. Wow, this is what you play for. These are the days that you will remember rest of your life. I reckon today is going to be a huge party, and the entire country won't be sleeping.
Maha, I've no idea what you're saying, but I'm sure it was absolutely excellent after all of that. That was incredibly loud. Those firecrackers going off behind us in the stand where we are. What a team they've had, what a squad. Wahab Riaz didn't even play today. How do the other sides catch up with the Kings next year?
It's going to be tough work on the Kings. If they have the choice of retaining players, they will retain the top notch, and even the Gladiators would do the same. So I reckon overall a brilliant tournament. The Kings have been, I think, brilliant from self-zone when they've lost the first game, but ever since then they have not looked back. And overall, I think, as I said, the big round of applause should go to the sports minister, the IPG, the tournament director, the groundsman, the public, the crowd, the crew. I think I can thank so many. Overall, with the first year playing with a pandemic with so much difficulties and such a small time to organize it, and this year again another 2 or 3 months to organize such a big product to the world. I think next year, most of the big players in the world would like to come and play in the Lankan Premier League so that you get highlighted and be watched all over the world.
Maha, it's been an absolute pleasure to sit next to you over the last 3 weeks or so. Appreciate it.
Likewise.
We'll catch up again soon. But the Jaffna Kings still very much rule the Lanka Premier League. They are the champions for the 2nd year in a row. Hope you've enjoyed our coverage. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next year.
Cricket Nova Calabar.